Yo, yo, yo! How we all doing? How we all doing? Yes, I'm back with another live stream. Whoa. We're here. Back with supporting the boys. I'm sorry that I haven't been doing many watch-alongs. I've been pretty busy, so I do apologise. But we are back.
The Borough 0, and it's a miserable night here in Lancashire. Emil Rees turns in the centre circle.
Right.
Heading to the 18-yard line.
Right. Add my socials. Everything like that.
On his left foot, Emil Rees. Emil Rees makes it 3. He's shifted it
my
on his left
socials
foot.
are all there.
In
We're ready to go.
Get something on it, but can't keep it out. And Preston goes 3-0 up. It's party time. Preston.
I think it just shows probably how young the squad is, really. The disappointment once again and missing so many opportunities. I thought Marvin Johnson were outstanding tonight. The crosses he put in. You know, we're not going to win headers in the box by the looks of it. So we've got to get across players now and try and score goals like the Huddersfield chance that we had. We've got to score those goals now.
I do apologise.
So we have got what we've got, and then we just got to get on with it and regroup. Can't feel sorry for us long when we're on to Millwall.
We're as passionate as you are. BBC Radio 2 Sports.
So that's what happened the last time these two sides met. Thanks to Chris from Eston, who's been in touch on Twitter. 3-0 tonight, lads. Like the shape of the team. Uppelving backline. Borough goal machines. Thank you for that. And the SBR Autism Development Centre have been in touch. They've gone for the players. Lucas has gone 3-1. Frankie Rose 2-1. Joe 2-0. Max 1-0. Coaches, Sam has gone 3-1, Gary 3-1, Jake 2-0, and the parents have also been involved. There's a few more that have just
some developments on.
Some of the late ones. Coach Jude 2-1, parent Emma has gone 1.
I didn't get a message.
So thank you for those. Let's hear our final bit from the Borough Boss Neil Warnock ahead of kick-off at the Riverside. He says there isn't much margin for error in his side's fight for a playoff spot.
I think every game is really. Until we lose a couple, and then that won't be it if we didn't. So you just got to keep going and fighting. I did say if we're capable of winning every game. I didn't say we were going to do it. I said we are capable of winning every game. But when we show the 15-20 minutes like we did against Bristol City, we're quite capable of losing every game as well. So I don't, as a manager, you don't really want to be in a situation like I am at the moment, not knowing which Middlesbrough's going to turn up. You can't have that next season. Next season's I've got to know 9 out of 10 what everyone's going to be doing next season.
Yeah, you mentioned that consistency. Obviously, Barnsley are one of the teams that are in and around the playoffs at the moment. They've had some unbelievable consistency. Do you think this squad at the moment, where you maybe feel like you haven't quite got your squad together yet, is it capable of producing a run like that?
Well, we're going to have to be fortunate. You still don't. I know it sounds silly, but you.
Oh my freaking god!
Still don't see when you have not got a real out scorer really.
I'm trying not to go too far with it because
it's one of those things we've just got to try and enjoy it and do the best. I think the fans are quite enjoying it. I'm just crossing my fingers that we've got supporters back at the start of next season, because it does make a difference to me. And to players and even to you, even turning up at the ground before a game and seeing the fans. There were 6 or 7 young lads last Saturday outside early doors and waited till way after the game, and not even seen the game. They're mad boys. I give them a signed photograph only because I can't get rid of them. A signed photograph each.
Right, on off.
And you'd think they wouldn't work, they'll be Middlesbrough fans the rest of their lives. And it's, the sooner we get them back, the better.
those photos will be straight on eBay now. So looking at tomorrow night. Looking at tomorrow night, is there a specific kind of test you expect from an Alex Neil side then?
Yeah, like I said, they really physically dominated us really for parts of the game up there. So we do have to stand up and be counted. But they've got very good players in areas that if you allow them, they can punish you. So it'll be a tough game. Like I said, I don't think there's any easy game in this league. I think it's as we proved this year. I think that when we get these tough games, like the next two are,
and that will come the Preston players.
If I'm honest.
And just finally, obviously, Darnell Fisher coming up against his former club. Will you be tempted to throw him in against Preston?
Well, he's done really, really well. He hasn't really put a foot wrong. He's just got a rather nasty Achilles tendon problem, which I didn't want to rush him back and then lose him, especially now we've got Dick Steele out for the season. So, but you know, I'm sure he'll be busting a gut to get.
Oh, come on, lad!
I think today both Fletcher and Tav are both going to be training. So hopefully, if not tomorrow, Saturday, you know, I think they could be available before the international break.
And they are. Fletcher and Tavernier on the subs bench, thanks to Rob, who says 3 points today off a fabulous performance last Saturday.
Yeah, they are on the bench.
Shout out to the wonderful Ellen from all of us at Borough.
I want to see Mendes line.
Just to run you through the championship tonight. Cardiff City against
but I want to see Duncan Watford play as well.
County. Luton host Coventry City, Rotherham United against Watford, and Bournemouth against Swansea. That one, a 7:45 kickoff. But our eyes are solely at the Riverside Stadium. Borough against Preston
on the left,
End, and it's in the
Mozzie,
company
Howson,
of our expert
McNair,
summariser Neil Madison.
Hall,
And first, Mark
Fry and Fisher.
Thank you, Rob. Welcome to a chilly Riverside Stadium after a beautiful day on Teesside.
2 people on stream, welcome.
Into
Type in the chat what your score predictions will be.
10 games of
I'm
the
going to give you
season to go, and they really need to go on a red-hot winning run.
Because I had one to start, so it'll be a bit unfair not getting your
here on
predictions.
Saturday.
Yeah, feel free to get in your predictions.
Preston. It
That'll
is
be really great.
one change to the Middlesbrough lineup tonight. Neil Warnock has brought Darnell Fisher, the Preston old boy, in to replace Jed Spence, who is on the bench. We're just about to get this game underway here, so running through the two teams
I would love to see
as quickly as possible. Marcus Bettinelli in goal for the Borough.
Fisher's alright,
Baller, Hall,
but he's
Fry,
only just come back from
Fisher.
injury, so
Three in
you have to
midfield,
think,
Johnny
would
Housen,
you
Paddy
risk
McNair and
bringing
Sam Morsey, Hubert Akpom up
a
front,
player who's just
supported
come back from
by Yannick
injury
Bolasie
back onto
and
the team?
Niskin
Wait,
Barno. And Preston,
I wouldn't
who
do that
have
because
a
they
bit
have
of
a big
tough
chance of
time
getting
on
injured
their
again,
travels.
and the fact that we have
They've lost their last
Dick
three
Steele
away
injured
from
as well.
Deepdale. Daniel Everson
It's a
in
bit.
goal, Sepp Vandenberg, Liam
I don't know.
Lindsay, Jordan Story,
Ryan Reeves says yes, Jake.
Alan
Yes,
Brown and
yes,
Paul
Ryan. How you
Gallagher
doing? How
in
you doing?
defensive midfield, Tom Barkhausen, Brad Potts, and Scott Sinclair behind Ched Evans. Up
My
front.
eyes
Oliver
actually
Langford
hurt.
is our referee. He's just got us underway here at the Riverside, under the floodlights, and it is the visitors Preston in a dark blue away shirt with royal blue sleeves.
I swear, if we lose
are
today,
in early possession
that result
from
was
Ched
a
Evans, their
tough
striker, and on the right
picture.
wing. The ball's bouncing between him
Go on,
and
Bowler.
Bowler.
Right,
Bowler comes
Bowler,
out with it, fourth backwards,
gets out the
as
way.
he finds a pass into midfield,
Gets
which
it.
is
Nicely cleared.
helped on by McNair, and Preston have it again in defence.
Our front
sat to
three
my left, our
looks
expert Borough
absolutely
summariser, as
incredible.
Rob was saying on
I am
every
just
Middlesbrough game.
you want
here
to
on BBC
tonight?
Radio 2 Sports.
Yeah, mate, yeah.
Borough have got to do the
do you
job
wanna come
tonight
and
now
fight?
and wait to
Tell
see
you a bit of fun.
how results fall elsewhere.
Yeah, it's a big game for us in terms of that league
Or
position.
whatever you have.
It's a tough game. I thought the game against them, when we played them early on in the season, Neil Warnock says they bullied. I wouldn't say they bullied us. I just thought they were better out of positions and they filled them holes and they caused us a lot of problems. So it's going to be a difficult game for us.
Yes, Alex Neil, the Preston manager, I thought quite spot on tactically that night as Preston played.
And the fact that Middlesbrough are linked with Charlie White, who I'm going to be doing football challenges with.
He's just
Speaking with the board, then I might be doing that football video at Rob
Preston find Ched Evans backing into Fry.
I'm only joking, I won't be
keeping
really.
the ball for the visitors, but Well, I was going to say not for long because Paddy McNair arrived, but the whistle's gone for a free kick, a foul by the Northern Irishman, and this one is almost slap bang on the halfway line. It's in the centre circle. Borough, by the way, in their home strip, red shirt with the white chestband, white shorts and white socks. Preston playing this one right down the middle of the pitch where it's chested down outside the Borough box by Johnny Howson. 2 minutes gone, goalless at the Riverside, and we're yet to see anything resembling a proper attacking move from either side.
Right, I can already tell this is boring football, they're just playing possession, so we...
As Borough enter the Preston final third.
You're probably not here much for me because all there's going to be is a lot of bunch of passes and stuff.
Against his former side, spent 3.5 years at Preston, did Darnell Fisher after joining from Rotherham. He got his head to the ball there. Now Bolassi's in the right back spot here, plays it back down the line to Hall.
Dunno.
Just reaches halfway with that pass, but only finds Liam Lindsay, who's one of 4 loan players. I think in this Preston team, he's on loan from Stoke.
Yeah, I think Bolasie, I think Akpom there, he has to get over because he's got nowhere to go. Grant Hall, he knows he's going to play the channel ball. He has to get over into that channel, and unfortunately, he doesn't. He stays central.
Yannick Bolassie's very deep in the early stages, isn't he? As Alan Brown, Preston's captain, plays a ball back to the keeper, Daniel Everson, who just let it run across the face of him, and it wasn't a long way.
Imagine if he slipped. That would have been our goal.
Just wondered if he just borrowed a bit too much there, Neil, but he was comfortable enough in the end as the ball drops in the centre circle, and McNair emerges with it for Middlesbrough. Short pass to Bolasie, now back to McNair, who's found himself on the right wing, just yards away from Neil.
Great pass from McNair to Bolasie. Bolasie trying to put the ball in.
Akpom attacks up the front post, cleared by the Preston defence.
The attack is still on.
Loses
it
to Darnell
Fisher.
Darnell
Fisher. Darnell Fisher goes down.
Fisher
nothing given.
Over by Brown outside the Preston box, and Oliver Langford lets play go on. Fisher's down.
He hasn't moved either.
Flat on his front on the turf.
He hasn't moved.
And the physios are running on while play continues. They're not waiting to be called on by the referee. There's real concern here for Darnell Fisher, who is flat on his face just outside the Preston box, Neil.
I think a knee's gone into the back of his head there. When he goes to ground, he tries to retrieve it.
I swear we should just
he kicks a leg out there, and I think the defender, I'm not sure who it is, who wins the ball.
I was just saying that you shouldn't be bringing on a player who's already been injured. And look, he's down already.
He's been Darnell Fisher, and he moved his left hand to his face, so he was conscious, and now he's standing up. He's looking at the referee, Oliver Langford, as we're about to see a replay, Neil. Fisher takes possession. Alan Brown comes across.
Fisher needs him at the back of the head.
On the floor as Paul Gallagher runs past him as he's getting up, and he just bumps his head into Gallagher's hip.
It's his thigh, it's his hip. It's unintentional.
And it would appear, judging from Darnell Fisher's physical appearance, that it's not too serious either, as he's now walking back down the touchline. He's off the playing surface at the moment. Borough have got a throw-in. In the right back position, Johnny House.
No, you're doing. Nothing much has happened.
The action's right in front of him. I have to come on now. Preston have headed out for another throw. And Fisher will
Casey Gamer says, "Yo, hey mate, how you doing?
And he's going to have to retrieve the ball as well. Ball boy, Neil. All games tonight in the Championship.
How are you?
They've kicked off at Cardiff, where the Bluebirds are playing Stoke. Derby at home to Brentford at 7 o'clock kickoff as well.
I will be keeping an eye on all the scores as well. So
right now,
not only I'm doing a watch along, I am going to keep you all updated with the other matches in the Championship that are on
and back
right
to
now.
Borough skipper is just to the right of the centre circle. Now Bolasie. Tackled by Hughes, regains his feet and keeps the ball.
Howson.
Fisher finds Howson
in Preston's half.
On the right hand side.
And that's McNair who goes down.
Front line.
It will go out for.
There's one decision here. It's going to be throwing out off Liam Lindsay. Borough with a throw in for Fisher to take, and this one 25 yards up from the corner flag on the right. 0-0 here at the Riverside. 6 minutes gone. BBC Radio T Sport with Mark Drury and Neil Madison. Borough looking to make it 2 wins in a row and 3 from their last 4. Headed clear of the box by Preston. Fry wins it back for Borough. Now Hall in the centre circle. Square to his left is Bowler, and this will be a first touch of the night for Marcus Bettinelli from Mark Bowler's back pass. He was a key figure in the second half against Stoke at the to keep that clean sheet intact. Borough got a throw in here, Balassi, and now it's Darnell Fisher who will pick it up instead.
Yeah, just the kick from
all scores in the championship are 0-0.
Very strong.
Right now.
You
Nothing
see that diagonal from
to
Bettinelli
update you all yet.
He turned away from the defender Hughes there, but he was actually the target for the throw-in, and now Preston look to break with Barkhausen down the right-hand side. Baller quickly onto it, looks for Cabano out on the left with this pass, couldn't find him. Preston throwing a few yards short of the halfway line. Still 0-0. It's Brad Potts. Couldn't hold it up and right into the feet of Akpom.
Sam Morsey, Balassi.
Now
Balassi
just
just
a little slip.
Slipped over there.
Looked to get away from
Magic Mike says, yo, my guy, yo, how you doing? How you doing?
Back on his feet. He's found the pass to Fisher on the
Darnell
right,
Fisher. Now here's Balassi. Balassi ball
He
in.
delivers a lovely looking cross from deep.
And Cabano's going to chase it down, but it's going to go out for a goal kick.
Seth Vandenberg sees it out.
That was a really good crossing, Balassi.
But Neil Madison, what about the delivery there from Yannick Balassi?
Yeah, just beforehand, Mark. I mean, Sam Morsey gets the ball and Paddy McNair makes a
really incredible from Balassi.
He's totally free. Unfortunately, Sam doesn't see it, but Balassi gets the ball.
That was a fantastic
He looks sharp, he looks
crossing.
bright, and that ball there, it's whipped in.
It remains Middlesbrough 0, Preston North End 0.
Unfortunately, there's no way to get on the end of it.
If Balassi got that cross just right, that would have been on an Akpom's head.
And Mark Bowler just pummels it out of play.
He beat his defender,
bouncing just across the halfway line.
but he just couldn't get
for
just couldn't get to the
for
ball. That's
the
the only thing.
Liverpool loanee Seth Vandenberg to take, signed on deadline day. Now they've found the chest of Ched Evans up front here. He's pulled out to the right-hand side. Brad Potts has gone down on the edge of the area, appealing for a free kick as play continues on the right-hand side. Gallagher firing.
Oh, but Benelli!
Spilled
What
it.
are you freaking doing, Benelli?
He spilt it, and fortunately, Dale Fry was the closest player. He's won a throw-in off Tom Barkhausen.
Just holds his hands.
Oh, he scares me.
Right-hand side, bounces
Bettinelli
just in front of
scares me.
And the catch, he takes a deflection, but nevertheless, he should be gathering that, but he doesn't.
Literally,
like there's a to clear it.
Literally
It's a simple take for the keeper, isn't it?
Yeah, he just.
But it just
He tried
comes
to
out of his hands
grab
like.
hold of it and bring it into his midriff, but he just missed it, didn't he? Just plain missed it, and it bang.
Like, bro.
Stuff. Marcus Bettinelli's sizable check, Borough's keeper. Fisher's throw-in will be headed back towards him by Andy Hughes. Fisher towards the goal line, needs to take a touch as Ched Evans closes him down, sends it down the line, and Alex Neil, the Preston manager, will half volley that back the way it came for a Preston throw.
I thought Evans has used his strength really well. You know, a couple of times the ball's gone up there, and Hall, Dale have tried to get off.
Preston North End are in Middlesbrough box. This could be a big chance.
Kicking.
Got a few players lurking around outside the box.
Back out of the box, the left back. Hughes crosses again.
What did Ryan say?
And it's Fisher
who
just repels the danger. Back out of the box. Another throw in for Preston, level with the penalty spot.
Yeah, so far in this game, the balls that have gone up to Shea Evans, he's kept all of it. And he's caused the two centre halves. You can't afford to just nick in there. You've got to be really alert.
1-0 Watford.
Sinclair into the
Oh, there could be a shot on from Preston North End outside the box. This is a big chance for Preston North End, but Yannick Balassi makes a challenge. Yannick Balassi might make a really big counter-attack here. Paddy McNair, just on the halfway line.
Is to his left. He finds
Preston
it
North End recover.
Down a bit by Brad Potts, and Preston are getting men behind the ball as Bowler takes the ball down the left wing, but doesn't give it to
Cabano. Middlesbrough just keep possession. Just next to the halfway line.
Fisher, just inside the Preston half. Balassi.
Oh, he read.
Looks for the return. Says he was blocked off by the left back Hughes. The referee Oliver Langford.
These are dirty.
That, and Borough have gone all the way back to their keeper, Marcus Bettinelli. Still 0-0, and we've had 11 minutes here at the Riverside. It's a beautifully still evening. Not a breath of wind about inside the stadium. Temperature dropping a little, but
now Bettinelli just got outside of his box.
Wearing the red shirt of the Borough tonight.
Just across the halfway line
to flick
into Preston North End's half, and that'll be a Middlesbrough throw-in.
Touch off Hughes. Borough will have the throw-in. Preston unamused as we've got a couple of early goals in the 7 o'clock kickoffs. Brentford are in front at Derby. And
Brentford have took the lead against Derby.
At Rotherham. Now that's good news for Birmingham, who have sacked Aitor Karanka, the former Borough manager. A win for Rotherham would drop the Blues into the relegation zone. They've replaced Karanka with Lee Bowyer, who left Charlton just the other day. Now McNair from the throw-in. Does he want a corner? He has.
It is a Middlesbrough corner.
In a tight space.
But
He just
I
knocked
don't
the
see
ball
why they've
into
got rid of
Andy Hughes, and it's out
Karanka,
behind
because
for
I think
Borough's first
chance
corner of the
really.
evening.
He seems to have a free roll, Paddy. He's all over the pitch at this sort of time. You
But
look
if
at
I thought
Sam
Karanka
Morrison and Johnny Howson
Championship
sitting in there
managerial
and Paddy
place
is
here,
getting forward quite a lot.
is it up?
The
Could it be
position's
the
just
end
out
of
wide.
I thought Karanka
Little
in
pockets
English
of them,
football?
okay.
Corner to be taken
I reckon
by
you've got,
Mark
like,
Bowler from the Borough
Spanish
right.
ones.
Flat, fast and cleared at the front
I reckon
post
he'll go
by
to, like, some
Preston. Scott
Spanish
Sinclair
team,
gets
isn't it?
chased, but the ball wins and that will be a throw-in. Just
Somewhere.
again, about 5 to
But
10 yards
I don't
away
think he'll
from Neil
manage in
Warnock,
England for another while.
who, as usual,
For
has taken
a while
station in
now,
the technical
because
area.
He's not been
Got his
doing well
black
with
boots on,
other
black
teams.
tracksuit
So,
bottoms and charcoal.
but yeah.
Borough court with his hands thrust down the right-hand side once more.
It was the same tactic as the first goal against Stoke, wasn't it? A low cross, but unfortunately
Delivery not quite right.
Yeah, it wasn't quite there.
The last
Here's
week.
Cabana. He's come.
He hasn't been in the game.
No, I'm just going to say he's come hunting for the ball on this right-hand side. Now he slipped, but he did get a bit of a nudge from Andy Hughes, and that will be a free kick. And this is a position that I think Paddy McNair might fancy whipping the ball in from out on the right.
Yeah, absolutely. Dale Fry, Grant Hall going up there as well.
Oh, Grant, oh yeah.
Balassi in the box with Akpom. Delivery's right.
Load of tall players in our team now.
Excellent this season.
Well, McNair has one man to beat in the shape of Scott Sinclair.
There's not so much room there. The line is just inside their box. It's
as McNair delivers
and
now.
it's whipped in, and it's just gone wide.
Heads wide, glancing one, and that ended up 5 yards wide of the left-hand post. Borough 0, Preston 0, and we've played nearly 14 minutes here at the Riverside.
I'd like to see that again because I think he's got to get a bit of connection there. It's a decent chance that even though he's
the Kubarak come header, it's gone wide.
I don't think it's too high for him either. I think he's got to plant that towards goal.
Just mistimed it, maybe.
I think he mistimed his jump,
might be a
to be
little bit
honest.
too high there, but I just think he's up. Get your connection right and plant it towards the goal. The pace of the ball will take it there with a little bit of speed.
Yeah, Chuba Akpom stuck on 4 goals for the season here at Middlesbrough. The summer signing from PAOK Salonika. It's not gone to plan for him. But then again, you could say that for Middlesbrough strike force in general, couldn't you? His last goal came in the first game of this year at Wickham. Chuba Akpom, the 2nd of January. Feels like an awfully long time ago now, that does. There's Preston. Find Brad Potts just to the right of the centre circle, back to his captain Brown. Out to the right-hand side, and Vandenberg.
And it's a chance from Cabana.
Throw into Preston.
And it's going to be a fucking good.
Borough's number 21, and they're just inside Borough territory.
Yeah.
We've seen them. You were talking about Ched Evans up front, Neil, holding the ball up well, but apart from the moment where Marcus Bettinelli stole the ball from the Paul Gallagher cross, we've not actually seen Preston create a clear chance yet, have we? With quarter of an hour
for both sides. I don't think it's a brilliant game.
Oh no.
You know, it's one of them games where you've got to work your way into this game, but it's just one of them games where you're feeling yourself into it, and yet there's 10-15 minutes gone.
Yeah, quarter of an hour gone as Ched Evans, the ball somehow found it to him. He's thrown himself to the
ground. Go on, Balassi!
Ran out of ideas, and that was never a foul.
Ched
Evans.
Never in a million years.
Paddy McNair. Closed down by Alan
I want to look back
at bang on the halfway line.
And I've done a lot more warmed
up. It
up.
was never a foul. I've yet to see a replay. I prove wrong, but it didn't feel like one.
He's having a word with the referee. He thinks
and
it's
George
a foul,
Savile as well. Warming up.
Going back to your question, I think it's a scrappy game. You just hoping they have a little bit of quality.
Get up.
There's nothing in it.
Well, Borough have had that Chuba Akpom chance, which he glanced well wide. That's been about it, really.
Would anyone love to see
threats on
VAR in the Championship? I think they should, to be honest. It needs to happen. Too many mistakes from the EFL referees. Cabana is falling, and it's going to go out for a Middlesbrough throw-in.
Brown, he's headed it out of play on the far side, and will be a Borough throw-in, level with the 6-yard box.
Good play from Grant Hall. Composed, brings it down because the ball comes towards him.
But I'd love to see VAR in the Championship because there's too many mistakes from the EFL referees. The EFL referees are a disgrace.
But the delivery,
Just say,
you've got to give
this is
yourself the
my
opportunity. Hits the first man, Tony
opinion,
Jules on that
to
far
be
side.
honest.
Ball to take it. And he's only found a Preston player there.
Waste of throwing that.
Bizarre throwing. Brad Potts has volleyed the ball away from in front of Bowler. Finds Ched Evans facing his own goal. Just inside
It was a waste of
the Preston
throwing.
half. Out on the right. Now Gallagher dropping deep.
And it's now in
And
Middlesbrough
again,
half. Brent Hall
defence this time.
managed to
Grant
get
Hall
the ball.
Back to
Now Mark
Bettinelli.
Bettinelli.
I think
And
Alex
he
Neil is
backs it
possibly
back to the
thinking
field.
back to early December,
Back in,
Neil, and thinking the same
Preston
trick
offense
will work
half, and
again
this
tonight.
could come
Well, they didn't have
going to
to
get cleared back into
James
Middlesbrough half.
Stockley was the man up front.
Still
that night.
Fry.
He was a big physical striker, but he's out on loan.
Strikes the ball
Yeah, he did
over the
really
halfway
well.
line.
Holding that ball up, but
Now Preston will
man
get the
marking
ball
sort
and keep
of
possession.
tried
Now
really
it's just
hard. They came
whipped
out of
up the field
positions
again.
and they exploited.
Now
got
Daniel
behind
Fisher.
us a hell of a lot, and they created chances that night.
And they've won a throw in here as Mark Bowler again was backtracking and couldn't get much purchase on the header. This one is an attacking position on the right for Alex Neil's side, who come into this one 15th in the Championship. They are 9 points behind the Borough, who in turn are 8 points short of the playoff places. Preston take it short. Looking.
Does anyone think that our playoff
making a long looping run to the corner of the box,
are
it's cut out, and
does anyone think that we could still make it to the
don't
playoffs?
stand on any
In my opinion, I think
just hit it out on the
it's
far side
50-50.
again. Preston will
if we
set
can
up for
perform
another throw
like
for
we did
Van
that
den Berg
in
to take. The
Stoke
Dutchman
when we beat them
on
3-0,
loan from Liverpool.
every
He's only
single
19
game
years old. He's,
we would get the results
decent
that we
size.
deserve. And
And he's found Ched Evans with his
yeah,
throw
get to
here.
the playoffs. But
Evans
I
wide
don't
on
want
the
to go up
Little ball to Brad Potts. Back to Van
only
den Berg.
because
Preston just playing it short here. A
think
1-2.
of it,
Van den Berg
Newcastle could be coming down,
He's turned out once more.
and Sunderland could be coming up.
Barkhausen to the
There's two
centre
derbies
circle.
there.
Preston might switch
I would
this to the
love to
left-hand
see
side where Hughes is
us
waiting. Well, Brown
stay down for another
will
season
eventually pass in
and
the ball.
us go up
First time
next season.
to the corner of the box where Brad
That is my
Potts has
opinion. But if
got
we
his
get
back to goal.
promoted,
He's got
well, if
Housen
we can
with him.
get the playoffs this
Into
season,
midfield,
that'll be
Preston
absolutely great. If we can
patiently
get promoted, that'll
probing
be
down the left,
brilliant.
back to Potts in the box.
But I
Housen
don't
stayed
think
with him. A
this
runner in
team
Brown
is
into the
championship,
area. Morsey going
well,
with him.
Premier League material.
Finding Evans.
Preston
Evans
North
to the
End
right
have
of
a
the
chance
penalty
here.
spot.
It
Takes
could
in and
be
fires
a
Potts
deflection.
by a sliding haul. It's rebounded back to him. And now,
Worrying
on
times
the
for
edge of the area,
Middlesbrough.
Preston will start again.
Preston
Gallagher
still on the
back in
attack.
goal.
There could be a shot
Trying
on.
to keep it alive.
Here they come
Now
again.
Evans has a
And
runner
it's
in
going to get
Gallagher.
whipped in. Oh, it's hit the crossbar. It's hit the bar. And it's gone out. And it will be a Middlesbrough goal kick. Preston North End nearly got a goal, but it remains Middlesbrough 0, Preston North End 0.
Either side this evening.
I've got to say, good play from Preston. Really good football, patient football. The amount of times they had that little set on the edge of the box, and they've worked around our 18-yard box. They've kept all of it. Real good possession. They've had a few chances where they've had shots in, but the blocks have come in. But in the end, it's Van den Berg there. And he'd done it at first, and then he comes in again. The clearance comes, and
This is the
it's just a
patience
set.
we're talking about.
Yeah, it's just a little set to him there,
Oh my
and he just lets
God.
go.
That
He
is
lets
too-
go.
no, that
That is a great strike.
Literally,
Flying into
he has a
the
shot
goal.
from outside the box. Like,
Flashed
yeah,
past
why
the
not?
expected
Go
at
for
the
it.
beginning.
What?
Before he could even blink.
And
Catches it
hits the
really
crossbar.
well. It was good play from
20
Preston,
minutes
I've got to
in.
say.
That is a scary. No, that
Intelligent.
is so scary. That,
Regarding
oh my
other
God.
strikers, when we have balls in the corners in these areas out wide, you have to have a set man. You have to have someone to build off, and quite a few times there, 2 or 3 times, they had that. It wasn't just a centre forward; it was maybe a midfield man that had bounced that ball off.
Alan Brown's a tidy player, isn't he, as well, in
Now here's
in
Cabano.
Preston's midfield, the Irishman. Got the captain's armband
Now,
these days.
Sam
He's got some
Morsey.
defending to do as Borough coming down his channel, out on the right-hand side. Fisher back in field to Morsey.
Now here's
In the
Cabano.
box and facing away from goal is Cabano. Back to Morsey.
Morsey.
It's Borough's turn to probe. Fisher finds McNair.
McNair
Brown
back
knows he
to
wants to
Fisher.
cross him, closes that
Now
avenue
Cabano
down.
again.
Back to Fisher.
Got
He will cross
bodies
back
in the
on
box.
target. Headed
Now
away
here's
by
Balassi.
Jordan Story. Out to the Borough left where Balassi is just backing
Balassi
away from Barkhausen.
holding
Now
the
he'll
ball.
just begin that familiar
And now
walking
Bowler.
dribble that he
Back to
does.
Balassi.
You know he's going
Just-
to drag it. He'd roll
Just
his
on the
foot over
left-hand
the top
side,
of the
it's
ball. Now he
whipped
whips it
in.
left
It's
foot.
oh, it's in! Get in! It's an own goal! Oh! Story! Oh! It's Story who gets the own goal! It's 1-0 Middlesbrough! That's a big mistake from the defender! It's a big mistake! It's something that shouldn't happen! It's a clear. You should clearly get something out of that. I thought at first it was a shocking cross, but now that you look at it again, you can see what Bolasie is looking for. You can see that he's just looking for that little mistake there, and that's where he gets out of it. It's 1-0 Middlesbrough.
Fizzed in with any pace, and I've got to say, the defender has to deal with that.
The defender has to do way better than that.
Just in front of him.
But tell you what, a goal is a goal. We'll take it. It's 1-0.
Flies into the back of the net.
What do you say to kids in any ball game? Watch the ball. Watch the ball.
Times what I'll say this: you don't score that. Hang on.
Into the box it goes from Preston. Sinclair attacks it, and Fisher is on the spot. Preston with a corner as they have to hit back quickly after Jordan Storey's 22nd minute own goal. He's given Borough the lead here on BBC Radio T Sports.
Yeah, it's all about Bolasie for me. He's looked really sharp on this right hand.
I'm just saying, ever since we got them players from the January transfer window, we have been class, way better than the first half of the season.
Comes off the side of his foot.
Gallagher to deliver, but as he strikes the ball, Oliver Langford blows his whistle and calls a couple of players over to him. Alan Brown for Preston and Darnell Fisher of the Borough. And Paul Gallagher will prepare to take this corner kick once more. Alex Neil, his temperature must have risen because he's taken off that woolly hat that was the beanie that was perched on top of his head like a tea cosy. It's gone. Alex Neil furious as Gallagher whips it in. Outswinger towards.
And Neil Madison's right. The offside flag is up.
Borough's goal.
That would have been.
It's a good save.
A quick response for Preston North End.
We'll have to have a look, but I think Sinclair's in an offside position.
Definitely offside.
Yeah, he's offside.
Well, the view we've got here is from behind the goal.
Yeah, but he's offside. You just watch it there. He's inside the 6-yard box. The ball comes in.
It was a save from Bolasie. Bolasie, sorry. Bettinelli. And then I don't know who put the ball into the net.
Evans comes off him, but
yeah,
Sinclair definitely offside position.
He was definitely offside.
So Borough remain 1 goal to the good here at the Riverside. Marcus Bettinelli with another good save to go with the ones he made in the second half against Stoke on Saturday. Yannick Bolasie just hooks the ball on, and Daniel Everson came out of his box and a rather comical about turn and a panicky retreat into the area as Tuber Akpom looked like you might catch him. All ended well though for the Danish keeper. Keeping Conor Ripley on the bench, former Borough man, son of an all-time great as far as I'm concerned, in Stuart Ripley. Preston, big diagonal out to the right-hand side towards Barkhausen. Bowler went up in the air, and he must have got the final touch because the flag's up for another Preston throw-in.
We haven't got a grip of the game yet. You know, I think Preston, in terms of that football, they've showed little glimpses here and there. Little chance there they've got. They're a dangerous side, and
well, they've had the ball in the net, which is disallowed. They've hit the bar as well through Vandenberg.
I think Alex Neil, being that way team, will be quite pleased with how they've done. But from our point of view, we need to be a little bit sharper on the ball, get hold of the ball first and foremost to try and build.
Liam Lindsay.
Now, the scariest moment of this game for me was probably when they hit the bar. That was scary. Literally, a shot from outside the box.
Andy Hughes forced him.
And it was like,
pass to his keeper, Everson.
Smash it.
He's all in light grey.
And it hits the crossbar. And then it goes out for a goal kick.
Made the yards up the pitch, but they've just played it round him with ease.
Never again, please.
And now they're looking for Evans. Is that out off the centre forward? No, it's taking a touch off Dale Fry. Preston throwing. Slap bang in front of Alex Neil, who, as we were saying before kick-off, is coming under a bit of pressure, isn't he, from the Preston fans? After 4 years at Deepdale. But as an outsider watching on, I've always thought he does a pretty decent job. They do have a rather unfortunate habit, if you're a Preston manager, of selling the best players from under you.
So if
Evans holds up Fisher as the ball
Cardiff
past the pair of them down the
keep results the way they have now, which is 0-0, and we can get the
Fisher
win,
is back up, trying to
then yeah, we have a big chance of getting to the playoffs still.
Blocked the cross,
still got
played short. Hughes, the loser, has won it back for Preston.
To go for,
bit of pressure on the Borough goal here.
Yeah.
Brown.
And now here comes Preston North End.
Potts making a run. Evans inside the
pass.
He's
miscued the touch.
Space in front of the Borough defence, but he forgot about the ball, Neil.
We can't get all the ball. We can't string a pass together.
Go on, Alson. Freaking hell. Look at Housen.
The left back Hughes had gone forward to attack. Housen onto it. Hughes gets back, makes the tackle, and Borough with a throw-in. Well, Borough lead 1-0. 27th minute here, but Preston are showing plenty, Neil.
They are. They're decent on the ball. Of course,
because we're going like
problems,
defensive and
we've got to get all
we're looking to go like for a
Stoke
counter-attack. So I think that's what
Stoke had a lot of possession.
That's why we're
of course,
trying to stick back.
Defensively, we were solid, and we've shown that again tonight. But you don't want to go like this. I think Neil Warnock is just saying I think it's Grant Hall there, just organising, maybe it's a bit of organising skills and making sure you're picking the right people. Shermans, to me, has done really well in terms of that lone striker, getting over
amazing.
and linking up.
And it's 2-0 to Watford against Rotherham United. It's a Mela Sarr.
Get goal side of Sepp Vandenberg, but the Dutchman strong holds him off, and now it's to Ched Evans on the halfway line, lays it off. First time ball forward.
Oh my word, Bettinelli, please. Oh, literally the ball
from midfield across Bettinelli.
It was about to come to a Preston North player.
And Brentford have gone 2-0 up at Derby. Also in front, Luton at home to Coventry. Borough lead 1-0 here. Ball's been returned from the lower tier of the West Stand, but Andrew Hughes has got a replacement ready to take this throw in halfway inside Borough territory. There's Evans once more. He's giving Dale Fry a difficult evening. Holds it up, finds Potts, pulls it back to the 18-yard line.
Do what you do best. Go on. Go on. Nestle them. You've got Balassi there.
Finds Balassi.
Go on, Balassi. You do what you do best as well. Go on. Go on. Oh, it's still Balassi. Yeah, and he goes down. Nothing given. And that was in the box as well. But to be fair, there was actually nothing in that. So
he can't find Brad Potts.
Without a doubt, that was never going to be
once more. But when Balassi went there,
Sam Morsey,
I thought it was all over. But Andy Hughes still with
him.
He comes inside and tries to do that.
Now it's the field has come to True Brackpom, and it does.
Pressing defence with the ball down the right hand side.
Here's True Brackpom.
Has kept it in play. Balassi was chugging back towards halfway and now moves forward, but he's wasting his time. Liam Lindsay has tackled Akpom there, and he actually just took it off him with ease.
He hasn't tackled him. He saw Akpom's shielding the ball in the corner, and then what he does, he turns to the support. Balassi's there, just keep it simple.
It was almost a surrender, wasn't it? From Chuba Akpom.
Yeah, you get yourself into the corner, and we talked about retrieving that ball and having a bit of play in this game. But at this moment, we keep on giving it back to Preston, and they're using the ball really well.
Yeah, the game at Deepdale was a chastening evening for the Borough. Finished 3-0 to Preston back in December. The night when Patrick Roberts came off the bench, and in the post-match press conference, when I spoke to Neil Warnock about Patrick Roberts and said, is it time to maybe see what he can do from the start? His response was, well, did you think he did anything? One of those telling answers that the Borough boss gives sometimes, wasn't it? Here's Hughes in front of his manager, Alex Neil. Back to Brown on the halfway line.
Patrick Roberts is a really good player, and he has a bright future ahead of him. His
own goal separates the sides.
He didn't do it for us.
Vandenberg on the right, he hit the bar earlier on, and he's looking for a runner down that right-hand side of Barkhausen. There's Cabano tracking back diligently and intercepting, and there's a...
Why do I keep saying Balassi?
He did do well, Cabano, didn't he?
Yeah, that's the difference.
It's because most of the names that are in this team now are like...
He's Lincoln, Preston in, he's really strong. I would say he's about 6 foot, but he's intelligent, he's coming short.
And he's won a free kick here. Darno Fisher drawn into the challenge. Evans bounces up, he's barking away at the referee, Oliver Langford. He's pointing back to previous fouls that he says were committed on him, and the referee's going to have to tell Ched Evans to calm down a little here. Yeah. Preston have already got the free kick.
I've got to say, he's mixed his game up really well. When the time is to back into that centre half and Dale Fry and Grant Hall, he's certainly done that. He hasn't been out-muscled once in this game. He's linked up really cleverly, and there he just comes short, receives the ball, drags the centre half out, and then you see that midfield man taking his place.
How much money are we getting from?
Although the one down, you can see they were dangerous.
Gibson.
I'll tell you, our expert summariser Neil Madison, who spent 20 years as a professional, loads of them in the top flight with Southampton
like 400 million.
Paul Gallagher preparing to
If
take
so,
this free
then we're
kick
going to get cracking players
from
just
wide
saying.
on the left, but the whistle's been pinged again
And-
by the referee Oliver Langford, this time because Johnny Howson was tripped outside the area. Happened. Eventually, Gallagher will take the free kick, tries to drop it on the penalty spot. Hall emerges from a crowd of players to head it away. Barkhausen arrives, takes him, and nearly gets the corner flag on the right-hand side. It's a Borough goal kick. They lead 1-0.
That's nicely for him. He goes for glory. He's a good 40 yards out there as well.
He goes for glory. He nearly found Dougie Market.
Yeah, and he goes right.
And that's at the other end.
It was a decent ball, but we deal with it really well. The two centre halves there get up, and I think it's Grant Hall that wins it, and it comes nice to him. He fancies the play, and
that went so wide.
Have a gamble as well because it sits nicely for him, but unfortunately he just gets it all wrong.
Yes, that is not one for his highlights reel when he's next out of contract and the agent sends the clips round as it. So elsewhere then, it's still goalless between Cardiff and Stoke.
Good.
Derby 0, Brentford 2, Luton 1, Coventry 0, and Rotherham 0, Watford 2. All 7 o'clock
I'm pretty sure he's
kickoffs.
already said that.
As we reach half-time here, Bournemouth and Swansea will kick off at Dean Court. It all kicked off at the end of Rotherham's match Bournemouth's match against Barnsley at the weekend as well, didn't it? After the final whistle. Now we've got a stoppage here because Andrew Hughes is holding his face after going up for a header there. Now he's flat on his back. So we're going to have a stoppage here at the Riverside.
And they have to check the
Preston
face.
all games.
I can see why.
One draw all season away from home, and that was at Norwich in the first away game.
I'd like to see us get hold of the ball a lot more and retain it. And you look how they're playing. Mentioned him, Shea Evans. He's getting hold of it. He's mixing his game up really well. There's a couple of times he's gone in behind. There's a couple of times there's a diagonal.
There's nothing in
and
that.
he peels off the centre half.
Why is he gone
comes away from the centre half, and the diagonal
Did
comes
that
over.
like ball
What he
hit
does
his
do
face?
well, he pins that centre half and he makes himself really strong. He links up their play, and he mixes his game up well, and he gets the centre half thinking where I think Akpon at times he's either going to go in the channel or he's going to try and win a header. There's no real thought about his play. He's up against the centre halves. I'd like to see him think a little bit more. How do you get the better of the centre halves?
I find him quite passive, Tuber Akpom. It's like the game happens to him, if you know what I mean, rather than him taking hold of the game.
I think as players, you've got to work out who you're playing against. If you're playing against a big 6 foot, centre half who's very good in the air.
I want to see
and if you're not as good in there, you've got to start thinking, how am I going to get the better of him? But I don't think that happens. I just think I'm up against him and I'm going to fight and I'm going to try and work my way that way. Football's not like that. You've got to outsmart the play.
Because Balassi actually done well when he was at strike, like when he's up top. I think it was in his first game.
The opposition.
We're back underway here. Atful. Well, the back of Balassi's head seems to be all right, and he's got a throw in to take here. Back in his left back position, Andy Hughes.
All right.
We've got 10 minutes to go till half-time, but there will presumably be a little bit of stoppage time.
I reckon if we got Charlie White,
as well
we would.
In this first half, both of them find to continue.
And then John Jones as well. John Jones, Charlie White, and then if we could sign either Balassi or
the benches now, the referees could have sent off back position, Andy Hughes. We've got 10 minutes to go till half-time, but there will presumably
we do have Mendes as well.
A little bit of stoppage time. We've had Darnell Fisher with treatment and Hughes as well
in
this first half. Both of them find to continue.
Would anyone actually like to see Mendes
to him in front of the benches. Now the referees coming sent off. Preston's captain dismissed. 1 minute.
Red card!
Sam Morsey getting
and it's Brown who goes
his knees on the pitch. I didn't see what happened.
He's gone.
But I can only assume that something off the ball has drawn to the referee's attention, or he saw it.
He's gone.
Alan Brown is off. He doesn't want to leave the field, but he has been shown the red card.
The referee.
It's a red card for Preston. I don't know what for. I didn't really see, but it is a red card.
On here to plead his case. Paddy McNair's telling him to get off. Well, what's happening? Now Alan Brown he's back in front of the referee.
Let's have a look here,
You watch the replay. I'll watch what's going on out on the pitch. Well, Alan Brown is eventually leaving the field. There we go. Well, he's kicked out at Sam Morsey. And then Morsey eventually collapses to his knees. Now, there was a tussle. It looked like they both had a go, but then Brown had another one afterwards.
Now, Morsey's facing towards the ball, and I think Morsey uses his arms against him. But what he does, Sam Brown, he kicks out. He kicks out, and the referee's literally, what, you see it here. I mean, Morsey, to be fair, swings as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They both had a go, and then Alan Brown finished it by hacking away with his right leg at Sam Morsey. So Preston down to 10 men, and Borough with a free kick, which is driven towards the box on the right-hand side. Heading away to Balassi.
Attack!
And Hughes thumps it out, and Borough with a throw-in. So Borough 1-0 up, and with a man advantage as well. Here's McNair near the corner flag, looking to win a throw-in, but the deflection sees a decision go Preston's way.
And you'd like to think now, we've talked about getting hold of that ball, you'd like to think now that will be the case. You know, using the extra man, getting on it, and making them really work for this.
Well, what a golden opportunity, Neil.
Oh, massive opportunity for us.
Borough needing wins. Neil Warnock said before Saturday's game with Stoke that he would know at the end of this run of 3 games before the international break, of Stoke at home, Preston here tonight, and Millwall away on Saturday, he'd know if Borough's playoff chances were done or not. They need to keep winning. They're 1-0 up here. They've got 10 men facing them for what, 55 minutes plus now.
Yeah, I mean, the tangle in Morsey and Brown, I think Morsey swings his, I don't think he goes for a punch, but he swings his arm backwards. But what it is with Brown, he kicks out.
And whips the ball in.
Whipping the ball in from the left-hand
side. Hang on.
It, dropping in the box.
Could this be a chance for Sam Morsey?
His shot is blocked.
Cabano.
Alive, but he's
still right. Freaking out,
chase back towards
Usain Bolt there.
The halfway line here. Fry's being called.
Play back to Bettinelli.
The play is going on. I bet Oliver Langford lets a bit go now, because he'll be getting plenty from the Preston players, won't he? As he sees Borough pass it back to Marcus Bettinelli.
I'm looking at Alex Neely and his coaching staff now, thinking, how do we reshuffle? Because,
well, he's got it all on. He's got it, Alex Neely.
Yeah, I think from his point of view, you look at it and you look where they are on the table. You know, I would think that he'd like to have a go. I think he'd stay 4 at the back and maybe go 3 in midfield and passing it around. And you know, with 10 men, it's difficult. Tired legs start to develop. You have to concentrate on getting on that ball, and you, go win the game comfortably now.
Sepp Vandenberg takes a throw in just inside the Borough half, out of the right. He's looking for the chest of Ched Evans.
There's nothing there. Get up.
Laid it off to Scott Sinclair. He's moved into the middle of the pitch now. Barkhausen, right-hand side, running at Bowler, who holds him up. Now Evans looking for Sinclair.
Now here's Grant Hall.
Didn't find his man. Now Grant Hall.
Still Grant Hall.
Leads the breakout.
It's still Grant Hall.
The centre circle. He's got Cabano to
now
his
here's
right.
Cabano.
Onto it. Preston backing up.
Still Cabano.
Cabano on the move.
Cabano doing his skills like he normally does. He could find Balassi here, and he does.
Out to the far
here's
side.
Balassi. Ball in, and it's going to smoothly get
this time
cleared.
Makes a rather more successful clearance than the one he swiped into his own net in the 22nd minute. Borough with a throw-in, a man advantage and a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, he has time to just pick his man there, Balassi. He tries to physically.
That is a big advantage for us, that.
He gets on his favourite foot and swing it in towards.
Huge advantage.
With it. He's got plenty of room there, possibly to take it at Vandenberg, but he doesn't. He drives it in there and he hits that first man into clearance.
Throw-in taken. Housen.
Just 1-2 with Bowler and Housen. Now Bowler, still Bowler. He whips the ball in and he doesn't find anyone. He just finds a Malvendler. And now Dale Fry, play it back to.
And there is Dale Fry. Deepest ball for Borough. Back to his keeper, Bettinelli. We're into the final 5 minutes of this first half here at the Riverside. It's BBC Radio.
And it's 3-0 against
former Borough player Neil Madison.
Rotherham.
Here's Bowler on the left for Borough. Balassi is wide with chalk on his boots, but instead it's into the middle of the pitch, and Morsey. Preston will be after him. He's part in their captain sending off. Here's Cabano on the right wing. As Watford go 3-0 up at Rotherham.
You know, Mark, it's about shifting the ball quickly, moving it really quickly, stretching.
Yannick Balassi on the left-hand side. He could do something here. Brilliant skills from Balassi. Puts the ball in, and
front post cleared. That will be a goal kick to Preston as Mark Bowler got the final touch.
It comes from the right-hand side, but I'd still like to see it a little bit.
After that red card, they're all starting to get nervous. But Yannick Balassi, brilliant set of skills. He gets past one, then he gets past two. And
He loves
he
a
just
step over,
he
doesn't he?
tries to find, I think
A
it's
little roll
Mark
of the-
Bowler.
of the
Yeah, it is.
circuit
Yeah.
over the top of the
He
ball.
tries to find Mark Bowler. He
It's
gets
like
a
a watch,
touch.
isn't it?
He goes
if
down,
Borough fans
but
were in here, they'd enjoy
it didn't
Yannick
go our
Bowles.
way. But it remains
he's an
Middlesbrough
entertainer,
1,
isn't he?
Preston North End 0. And
He's on
Preston
Roberts
North
as
End with a
well.
man down.
Preston have got Andrew Hughes down, holding
Which,
his face
I mean
up.
by
It's
that
not
is
Andrew
a
Hughes
red
this time,
card.
is it, who's down? They've got a player down. I think
it's,
under the
you know
bench
what?
is Ched Evans once more holding his face.
To be fair to Neil Warnock and
Yeah.
the bench, straight away they've screamed at the referee.
Stop the
Listen,
game.
he's down. It's his face. So
Well, he's back up, Ched Evans. He hasn't had treatment, but he is rubbing his face.
I've been impressed with Ched Evans. I've been really impressed with him. I think it's going to be difficult for, Preston at this.
Oh, he was just caught by
Yeah.
Dale Fry. He wasn't even challenging for the ball, Ched Evans. He was stood a yard or so behind Dale Fry. Went up for the header, and as he challenged, he was turned sideways in the process, and his left arm came round and ended up slapping Ched Evans in the face. All a big accident, but painful nevertheless.
Header.
The Preston striker who's
And this
he's
could
on
come
loan from
as Sam
Fleetwood.
Morsey, and it does now. Here's
It's
Penny
Ched
McNair,
Evans.
but it's going. Oh, did he keep it
31
in?
years old.
Yeah, it's
The
going
Wales
for
international.
throwing. Preston North End throwing.
32 in fact, actually. But he's playing like a man. He's using all his experience and bringing it to bear tonight, Neil. As
This could be a big chance.
line. Preston with Barkhausen
And
looking for
Luton
Evans.
take
That was
go
well
2-0
cut
up
out by Grant Hall,
against
and that's
Wickham.
the sort of thing Preston are going to have to hope for with 10 men, Neil.
I can't understand Akpom there. I mean, the ball is Grant Hall. He's playing a ball diagonal, and he's saying put it in the corner. But Akpom, yeah, you've got to keep your eye on the ball. You've got to know where it is. But he's just ran and expecting that ball. But if that ball doesn't come, you've got to get an eye on it.
Luton are now 2-0 up at home to
Now it's
Coventry.
Sam Morsey.
Coventry are down to 10 men, just like Preston.
Now
are
Mark
here.
Bowler.
And Bowler will find
Jan
Balassi.
Balassi. So much space for Balassi here. He could have a shot here.
Now he's drifting across the box, looking for a little reverse ball to Bowler, and couldn't find him. Preston drags it wide of the right-hand post. It's still Borough 1, Preston 0.
That's the first time he's given the ball away. Ched Evans there, and he gives it to Cabano, gets it on his left foot. Good 25 yards out. Let's go.
Ooh, big
Just
mistake.
goes past the far post, doesn't it?
Cabano.
Yeah, Cabano in that hole behind the striker.
That was actually an alright
He
shot.
made the move across the box to try and create some space.
Would have been better if it was on
Cabano was
target,
right to
but
go
it was
for goal,
only a few centimetres off. To be fair to him.
He just choked the neck.
Ched Evans there, and he gives it to Cabano, gets it on his left foot. Good 25 yards out. Let's go. Just goes past the far post, doesn't it?
Yeah, Cabano in that hole behind the striker Akpom. He made the move across the box to try and create some space. Cabano was right to go for goal, but he just choked the neck. There's Fry. Strong against Evans from the goal. And then McNair on the right-hand side.
It's gone out for nothing for him.
Liam Lindsay sliding in, and he didn't challenge, and there's a goal. There's Fry. Strong against Evans from the goal kick. And then McNair on the right-hand side. Well, he saw Liam Lindsay sliding in, and he didn't challenge, and as a result, the ball went out of play before the Preston man arrived. It's a throw-in to the visitors, taken quickly back to Liam Lindsay. Borough leading 1-0 here. If you're just joining us, Jordan Story slicing past his keeper, Daniel Everson, from a Yannick Balassi cross, and since then they've had their captain Alan Brown sent off for kicking out at Sam Morsey after an off-the-ball tussle. Got a free kick here, Borough. Grant Hall taken down short of the centre circle, and we are going into 3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this first half.
I think I might have my own little half time.
Fair for Borough here. It's all set.
It's there for us. I mean, the sending off changes the game totally. Just getting a few tweets in there said possibly Sam Morsey could have gone as well, because he lashes out with his arm, but the referee just sees the kick and he's sent Brown off, and it goes for us, doesn't it? The sending off.
Indeed, yeah. Well, Neil Warnock's been very vocal, hasn't he? Very vociferous about the luck that's gone against Borough as far as he's concerned, as the free kick is taken. Morsey nearly on the end of it, on the edge of the box. Now McNair winning it back just outside the area.
Sam Morsey
into midfield to Fisher.
It's whipped
Fisher
in.
Cross
It could come down. Boom! And it's gone wide again.
To the left-hand post than the one he hit earlier, but still wide, and a Preston goal kick.
It's like the one from I think it was the corner from a free kick. it was whipped in, and then it was a header, it went wide. But this time it was just a normal crossing. I think it was by Daniel Fisher. It was whipped in,
Preston.
same thing again happened. It's gone wide.
A short goal kick completely unopposed in bags of space.
Now here's Johnny Alston, Grant Hall.
It's just getting switched
and he
on.
finds Yannick Balassi.
Quite well.
This Balassi is more left hand side.
It's still Balassi.
Heading for the box.
Skill after skill, and that went through any of their legs. That would have been going through for True Brackpom.
In a race with Evans, who got
Grant
to the
Hall
ball. Evans is
challenging
back towards his defence. He's been given
and now Yannick Balassi going to challenge
Paul Gallagher. And then he's got Yannick Balassi sliding in on him. Ched Evans is having a rough old evening. Gallagher then drives the ball forward as Evans and Balassi get back to their feet, and Borough back to their keeper Bettinelli. 2 minutes of stoppage time gone.
This has been a really interesting game
before both teams can head off for some refreshments. And a fresh set of instructions, no doubt. Not just from Alex Neil, the Preston boss, but from Neil Warnock as well, because Neil Maddison, he'll want them to finish this one as early into the second half as they can, won't he?
You know what? Even though, we're winning 1-0, and even though they're down to 10 men, I think he'll switch the players on. They have to be switched on. They have to move the ball quicker. Yes, we're 1-0 up, and it's come from an own goal. But in terms of that playing since they've been down to 10 men, I'd like to see us a little bit.
As Bettinelli with the back pass has put it out for a Preston corner kick. That was needless.
Yep.
And it's dangerous now as Preston have a corner with, mere seconds of stoppage time remaining. In fact, we've had the 3-minute signal by Oliver Langford. That's a minimum, of course, but I think Paul Gallagher's corner kick here will be the last action of the first half. Can Borough hold out? Well, he's going to put this one into the area. Scott Sinclair came short, but now he's heading back to the 6-yard boxes, and it comes towards the back post.
Oh my word! That was a crucial save, and that
final action of the first
will be it.
Borough's goal survives again at the break. Middlesbrough 1, Preston 0. But look down there, Neil Maddison. Alex Neil, the Preston manager, marching onto the pitch. He wants a word with Oliver Langford. He wants to know why his captain, Alan Brown, has been sent off.
Well, he's got sent off because he kicked out, and the referee's seen it. One thing I don't think he's seen is Sam Morsey just using his hands as well to the Preston player, because if he does, he possibly might go as well.
Too close.
But nevertheless, I think Neil Warnock at half-time, he'll be happy. He'll be happy that they're 1-0 up at half-time. But I tell you what, he'll say to his players, we've got to be better than that.
Well, I've just watched Alex Neil there, Neil, and he has signalled, and he's been sent off now. The Preston manager has just been...
Oh my word, the manager's been sent off as well!
At our referee, Oliver Langford, you could see what he was doing. He was pointing...
The manager has been sent off! Right arm out. Are you hearing this?
Sam Morsey did to Alan Brown.
The Preston North End manager has just been sent off.
In the dugout, in the technical area.
There's 2 people have been sent off.
What we will see
now for Preston North End. The captain has been sent off, and now their manager has been sent off. This is not going well for Preston North End. An own goal, 2 of their the manager and the captain sent off. 3 negatives there for Preston North End. Will they bring it back in the second half? Join me for the second half. I will be back in 10 minutes. I'll see you all then.
Alex Neil coming over and having a go with the...
Listen, you talk about decisions gone against us this season. Well, let me tell you, we have had a load of decisions gone against us this season. You can go through them. There are absolutely loads. And one decision has gone for us today. Listen, I'm not saying the lad, for me, he kicks out. And if you kick out and the referee sees it, there's only one thing that's going to happen. You're going to get a red card. The one thing he doesn't see, I don't think he sees Sam Morsey use his arm, because I think Sam Morsey uses his arm, sort of slaps him to the back.
Yeah.
He's facing the ball, and the referee.
Neil, I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt here, and Rob as well, because I'm just looking down below us. We're at the back of the West Stand. In the director's box here is Peter Ridsdale, who is, well, he's effectively the chief executive of the club. Preston's media man has gone. I've just seen the same slapping, arm out, sort of arm in the hand in the face slapping motion from Preston's media manager towards Peter Ridsdale that Alex Neil was giving to the referee. You know what the script will be after this game.
But we've had it wrong. You know, how many times have we had it this season when it's gone against us? And they say they even things out, and albeit Preston fans, and you know, they won't be happy, and rightly so, because you know, it could have been two sending off. It could have been Sam Morsey. It could have been Brown as well going off, but he sent off Brown and Sam Morsey's on the pitch. But from our point of view now, I think Neil Warnock will be in the change room and say, listen, I'm better than that. You know, with the down to 10 men, yes, you found yourself in front. We've had little spells in the game, but nowhere near enough where you're constantly on that ball. You know, yeah, Preston have got to. Sometimes when you're playing against 10 men, it's difficult.
And we've seen that we've seen that this season, haven't we? When Borough have been up against 10 men, they've really struggled. So it's an opportunity now to try, as you quite rightly say, put them to the sword.
Yeah, I think, you know, when you're playing against 10 men, effectively you do think, well, it becomes easy, but sometimes it doesn't, because the team up the game, you get players that possibly switch off a little bit. For me, it's about moving the ball quickly. It's about stretching Preston from side to side, making them work. If you do stretch them, then gaps will start to appear, and then you start to exploit them with obviously Cabano and Balassi possibly moving in there and creating chances for you. But at half-time, I'm certain Neil Warnock will be in that change room and demanding a lot more from his players in terms of passing that ball and seeing this game out. Yes, they're down to 10 men, but you have to earn the right to get the 3 points on the board. And regardless of them being down to 10 men, he'll be still in that change room. Even if they never had a man sent up, I think he'll still be saying the same things. Keep it nice and solid, but you've got to move the ball quickly and you've got to retain it. The Shea Evans, I've said before, he's been a centre forward that's linked up their play, got hold of it and mixed his game up really well. He's come short, he's got him behind, he's held it up when he's had to fight the centre halves. He's used his strength really well, and I don't think we've done that in our part. Sometimes the balls up, I would say, that Paul, haven't been the greatest, but when they are, you've got to get hold of it and you've got to link us up and keep hold of that ball, retain the possession, because if you don't, it's coming back on you.
And the difference being, Neil, as well, you know, if the game is goalless and Preston go down to 10 men, it's very different. Borough have the 1-0 advantage. They have the
following your heart, in spirit, in soul. You make every tackle, score every goal. You're part of it, wherever you are in the world, from the first minute until the last kick. Victories, heartbreaks, you're part of the fabric, the passion, devotion, supercharging emotion. For you, there is only one, abiding loyalty, togetherness that is second to none. Follow every kick, every tackle, every goal. With access to live stream games and matchday there's no better way for you to get closer to your club. And with I Follow sales supporting them, there's no better way to show your love. And you can't be there with I Follow.
this game.
Ready? Football at Home with Screwfix, proud partner of the EFL.
Whatever your reason for moving this season, we'll make it our goal to sell your home for the best price possible. This is Andy, local coach and football craze father of four. Andy, Kate, Sam, Dale, Stanley and Rose. Oh, and Creed the Dog customers up and down the country, whoever they support. Go online and book a valuation today. Your Move, official supporter of the EFL.
Papa John's Trophy. Get your kicks with this.
Your teammates, your squad. This football. And in football, you are never alone. FIFA 21. Win as one.
That's sick.
A smart meter won't revolutionise your day. But it will help in you save on your bills too. Not bad for something that's at the back of your cupboard.
That's sick.
A smart meter won't revolutionise your day. But it will help in you save on your bills too.
Right, so I am going to say what the score is around the championship. And then I'm going to go again because I've got my pizza in downstairs, so I will be back. Right, so it's half time at Cardiff and Stoke. It is currently 0-0 there. Derby are losing to Brentford 2-0 at half time. Luton are beating Coventry 2-0 at half time. Middlesbrough, of course, winning 1-0 at half time. And it is 3-0. Rotherham are having the worst day ever at home. It's half time and it's 3-0 against Rotherham and Watford. And Bournemouth and Swansea, 14 minutes in, they are looks like a tight game, but Bournemouth have took the lead there. So yeah. So I'm gonna go again. I will be back using like 5 minutes.
First attempt.
Oh, he slotted it right in!
Football at home with Screwfix, proud partner of the EFL.
Well, we will once the Borough come out. Neil Maddison. You know what? Neil Maddison's just rejoined me, by the way, everyone.
I actually think that we'll make a change as well.
Well, they are. Jason Malumbi's about to come on. Neil.
No, I think we'll make one as well. It wouldn't surprise me if Borsey comes on.
Oh, hang on a second. Tavernier is ready. Marcus, a series of little sprints on the sideline and then made their way onto the field. Right, now for this Preston change then. Let's see who is going to make way. And it is Scott Sinclair who is going off. So Jason Malumbi replaces Scott Sinclair.
Hello.
When you're 1-0 down with 10 men,
I am back.
That seems an odd.
I'm going to be going back downstairs in a few minutes just to get my pizza.
Well, for me,
if you're wondering where I've gone, that's where I've gone. I've got to get my pizza.
Then, let's see who is going to make way, and it is Scott Sinclair who is going off. So Jason Malumbi replaces Scott Sinclair. And when you're 1-0 down with 10 men, that seems an odd one for me.
Well, I've watched it. I was down on the toilet there, and I'm thinking,
too much information.
I'm just thinking about the game. I'm thinking, listen, you've got to be careful.
So I think we're going to be going attacking now.
Tav gives you a little bit more energy going forward. He's quicker on the ball. I just feel, you know what, it's the right decision to make. Get him on the pitch, but from our point of view, move the ball quicker.
And also, the man he's replaced, Marcus Tavernier, is the man who was at the centre of the controversy as Alan Brown was sent off in Sam Morsey. So we're back underway at the Riverside. Borough 1-0 up. Preston down to 10 men. Borough, the home side, of course, in possession, kicking right to left as we look on this chilly spring evening here. But it is completely still. And Borough in their red home shirts with the white chestband, white shorts and white socks are in possession early. Darnell Fisher, long ball down the right. Flick on here by Cabano. Preston thump it forward. The away team are in dark blue shirts with royal blue sleeves, royal blue shorts and socks. And Fisher has gone down. He was caught having played the ball forward. Jason Malumbi, the substitute, was the man who made contact, and it's a Borough free kick 10 yards short of the halfway line. Bournemouth 1-0 in front against Swansea in the game that kicked off at 7:45. Dale Fry to take Borough's free kick. So it's Bettinelli in goal. Back four is Bowler, Hall, Fry and Fisher. House and McNair, and now Tavernier in midfield with Akpom up front, supported by Cabano and Balassi. Here is Balassi heading on the free kick. That one will bobble out for a Preston goal kick as Marcus Tavernier couldn't reach it. Preston, Daniel Everson in goal, Seth Vandenberg, Liam Lindsay, Jordan Story and Andrew Hughes in defence. Paul Gallagher and Jason Malumbi now in midfield with Alan Brown sent off. You've got Tom Barkhausen, Brad Potts and Ched Evans trying to provide creativity. Everson all in great, takes that goal
right now.
kick.
So we are winning 1-0. Yes.
Making first contact in the centre circle.
One of their, I think it was Preston's captain who got sent off.
To the left wing, and he's won a throw as well off Jordan Story. or he hasn't. The referee's given it the other way. I thought the final touch came off the defender, but the officials disagree.
15 minutes before half time, and then at half time, their manager, Nothing's manager,
he's
went
at the top
onto
of
the field, went
in
to
the
talk
lower
to the
tier
official
of the
about the red
West
cards,
Stand that we're in. So
and now he's sent off as well, so he's in the stands watching the
If that's been
game.
sent off, Neil, in an empty stadium, they'll be able to hear everything he says. You've got to get a bit further away than that, haven't you? That's pantomime stuff. Borough win it back and get a throw in. Left-hand side, Baller takes. Finds Balassi. Back to the left back. Balassi backing into Brad Potts, holding the ball, and Tavernier back into the action after injury. McNair rolls it to the right, and now it's out with Cabano.
Now Cabano.
Preston back off. Cabano's fist. That cross hits the first man, loops into the area. Liam Lindsay heads it up rather than away. Housen challenging, dropping to Cabano's chest. And corner of the box. Fisher joins it.
This could be it. And it's Paddy McNair, and it's going to go wide.
Frustration from Tuber Akpom. He didn't gamble, and it's out for a goal kick.
He gambles too late. It's a great ball from Paddy, I think, to shot come cross.
Right
across the face of the goal, and
Akpom
makes that run ball a little bit too late.
Derby
better from us. You know, better passing the ball quicker. I don't think he's ever going to get that mark. To be fair, it's a shot, but it's far too
fast.
Yeah, it's a little bit too fast for him, to be fair.
Derby have had a good start to their second half. Derby 1, Brentford 2 at Pride Park. Here's Malumbi in the centre circle, out to Barkhausen on the right-hand side. He'll go for the return one, Malumbi, but Grant Hall moves across from the centre. And he I think it's held off Malumbi, but yes, I think he's running out of play before he could get it away down the line. Preston throwing, right-hand side. Well, he killed it out of play, didn't he? Just in front of the benches. Here's Jordan Storey, whose own goal separates the side back pass that had Akpom interested, and then he's collided with Liam Lindsay, who'd got the pass away to his keeper, Everson. The whistle goes, and it will be a free kick to Preston. Liam Lindsay is just rubbing his knee, which will be sore after that collision. I think it was accidental from Tuber Akpom, and play will restart with nothing more than a free kick. And I've got to say good evening to Ron Blades in Redkit. Jimmy, your old mate, has been in touch to say that we brighten his day with the commentary. Well, I hope we're brightening it tonight for your honours. Borough cross from the right to McNair. What a save!
Oh my word.
To the edge of the area. Housen's missed his kick with the left foot. It was volleyed towards goal from close range by McNair, and Daniel Everson spread himself and kept Preston in it. It remains 1-0 to the Borough, and now they break down the right with Barkhausen whips his cross in and can't find a blue shirt. Out on the far side for a throw-in. What a save from Everson, Neil.
Yeah, Everson, he does really well. He stretches his body. I think it's Cabano on the ball, wide on the right-hand side. Puts a cross into the box. There's Paddy 6 yards out. I mean, the keeper knows. He just stretches. He's going one way. Johnny Housen tries to get a shot off. We're looking at it again. Ball in, takes a deflection. Paddy comes in. I mean, he's literally 5 yards out.
And you just think that has to be it. Now marauding down the right hand side.
No, he's Paddy McNair. Will he finish it? Oh, he's at the bar! Tavernier, yes! Come on! It's Marcus Tavernier! Come on! 2-0 to the Borough! Now score! Come on! The returning Tavernier has scored! Come on!
Down the right-hand side, squares it. Paddy McNair does, I think it's to Cabano. He gets his shot off, hits the bar, comes down, and there's Marcus Tavernier coming onto it, heads it into her. I mean, the keeper's scrambling, is he? Paddy does really well down that right-hand side, puts it through one of the lads' legs. And he, you know, this is what we're crying out for.
He hits the bar.
Cabano,
you should be finishing that. Don't go for the top corner. Simple finishing, mate. Simple finishing.
You bring on a little bit of legs.
But luckily Tavernier ran into the box, header,
puts it down,
and it's easy. It's an easy header. It's 2-0 to the Borough.
That goal, Marcus Tavernier moves clear of own goals in Borough's goal-scoring chart. Own goals have accounted for 3 of Borough's tally this season. Well, Tavernier's on to 4 now with that one. And Borough might just have created the space they need between themselves and Preston tonight.
Marcus Tavernier should be in double figures this season with the chances that he's had. But as I said before, half-time, I think the inclusion of him coming on was the absolute right move. Gives you a little bit more pace in midfield, forward thinking, quicker passing.
But we've seen plenty of spirit from Preston tonight.
Yeah, we have.
They'll keep giving it a go. But Yannick Bolasie is trying to get the wrong side of Jordan's Story there. As the ball
he's doing really well there, Bolasie.
Story stuck with him.
To give the ball.
Bolasie won possession for the Borough. Now Tavernier helps it on to the right-hand side, and Darnell Fisher. Fry slows it down. Tavernier, he's just dropping deep, and he just wants to feel the ball on the side of his boot, doesn't he? He wants to start dictating things.
I think it's a great move to bring him on forward. He's quick, gives you a little bit more drive going forward. It's the right decision.
And not just that, it also took Sam Morsey out of the spotlight, because he was going to be the focus of plenty of Preston attention, wasn't he, after Alan Brown starting off?
You know what Sam's like. He's all or nothing. He gives absolutely everything, and sometimes when he gives absolutely everything, you know he can be a little bit naughty at times. And
Howson, good strong header out to the left-hand side. Bolasie,
nice Bolasie,
allows Vandenberg to get back into position.
Oh, Bolasie, whipped in.
Course, nobody there. Akpom in the middle. Cabano would come in as well. McNair will keep it in play on the far side. Borough 2-0 up. We'll get a third here, and suddenly they could be starting to think about improving their goal difference. Cabano, we're back down to walking pace now. BBC Radio T Sport. Middlesbrough 2, Preston 0. Preston down to 10 men.
Cabano.
As they have been since the 35th minute.
Could
Cabano
combining with
Fisher.
Middlesbrough if they can
up against the left back Hughes
ball
in a tight spot. Nice ball
now
to the edge of the area.
McNair.
He's close
Marcus
down by
Tavernier. Darnell Fisher. Darnell Fisher just on the right hand side. Now passes it back to Marcus Tavernier. Tavernier, ball through, and it's going to get cleared.
Slide the ball through to Chuba Akpom, but it's cut out. Ched Evans has handballed it, and it's going to be a Borough free kick to the right of the centre circle.
This is so not
for Ched Evans, as he's led the line for Preston on his own, and we've got changes coming here. Emil Rees is coming on first of all to replace Tom Barkhausen, and the Dane scored, didn't he, in the 3-0 win for Preston at Deepdale back in December. The second change sees Daniel Johnson being introduced at the expense of Paul Gallagher. Now, Johnson has always been a goal threat over the years for Preston. Paul Gallagher, undoubted quality, but not the legs to really get forward, and they'll be hoping that Johnson can provide some of that, Neil. Although he will, I think, start in a position in front of the defence as Borough roll the ball out to the right-hand side from the free kick, and here's Fisher. The ball in field to McNair.
Now here's Cabano.
And Cabano.
So, brilliant skill from Cabano on the right-hand side. He's being mauled in, it's going to be a free kick.
Hughes, who has had a tug of the shirt and the arm and conceded a free kick, and now he's dragging the ball away and wasting a bit of time as well.
Yeah, the linesman over that far side straight away, a flag up. He gives a free kick there. Referee blows his whistle, and it's a chance for Paddy McNair to swing this in.
Still Cardiff 0, Stoke 0, by the way. So
that's
as it stands, for leapfrogging the Bluebirds. Barnsley play tomorrow night, as do Reading. They'll be the first opponents for Lee Bowyer as Birmingham manager on the far side. So I wonder what he's done, Neil, because he's stood up and now he's been taught to sit down.
Oh no!
Yeah. Well, I'm no idea what's happened to Paddy McNair, but he knows that he has to come off.
Not sure what it is. He's feeling his knee there.
Now that's potentially not good news for Borough, with not just tonight in mind, but the rest of the season. Paddy McNair has been one of the crucial cogs in Neil Warnock's machine, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's feeling his knee there.
And, well, you always worry, don't you? When players, haven't been challenged, there's nothing particular happen that you notice, and all of a sudden they just signal and they start feeling the knee. It's a source of concern, isn't it?
But I think also as well, you take no risks. In my opinion, Paddy's a massive part of our way going forward.
Putting his shin pads in and pulling his socks up down there, as it will be 10v10 out there for a moment or two. Borough ready to take the free kick. Tavernier with
dipped in, but oh!
Just wide. And now he looks to the referee to say that Liam Lindsay got the final touch. Hasn't gone his way. Goal kick to Preston. Borough lead by 2-0. George Saville is on for Paddy McNair, who is still down on the far side, having his right knee worked on. But it was so nearly 3-0 there, Neil.
Oh, what a ball that is from Tav. Great ball into the box, right into that 6-yard area, just outside it. Yeah, Hall gets ahead on it. Decent effort, to be fair.
Hall wins another header from the goal kick and then goes into a challenge with Emil Rees. Neither of them got much on it, and it's left to Mark Ball to hammer it forward on the half volley. Bouncing towards the edge of the Preston area. Being held up
Tavernier.
by Tavernier in support.
Cabano.
Right-hand corner of the box is Cabano. Tavernier behind him. Fisher chugging forward on the overlap now. He'll get the ball at a standstill and back to Tavernier in midfield. As Paddy McNair begins the long walk around the pitch behind Daniel Everson's goal to make it back to the tunnel. There'll be, as I said before, real concern over Paddy McNair and the nature of that injury as Cabano rides a challenge on the far side, but he's just heading towards the touchline. And Borough opt to keep possession. Leading as they do, 2-0. Chipped forward by Fry towards Tavernier. Header out of play by Liam Lindsay. Borough throwing out on the right once more. They're looking very comfortable right now, Neil, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Really comfortable. In control of this game. I'm just looking Paddy there walking. He hasn't really got a limp. Oh, you look.
Does that make it more or less?
No, you just think to him, well, listen, let's hope he's okay. He's come off. I think sometimes when you feel something, and also the manager, I think he's absolutely right. You know, take no chances. You're 2-0 up, they're down to 10 men.
The thing is, you know, it looked to me like it was Paddy McNair who made the decision, I'm coming off, you know, rather than the bench. Now, Borough worked it to the left, and Balassi moving into the middle. Square ball to Fisher. 25 yards out. Might fancy a goal.
Oh, Tavernier could have another shot. Yeah! Oh, it's just going apart.
And missing, perhaps not by much. It is another Preston goal kick. Borough lead 2-0. And we're in the 59th minute.
That's a great chance for Tav, that. Because it comes back to him. He's got plenty of time to set himself. Little set there. Nice little set. And just behind that far corner, he just puts it too far, too wide.
Now it was curling back, but never on target. Still Fry has been fouled here as he went to win the header from the goal kick. Now Paddy McNair is only now arriving back in front of the benches. His long walk from the far side, and he'll presumably head straight down the tunnel. Chris Mosley, the physio, is with him. Adam Reid as well down there, having a little conversation. Borough, I think, are going to make another change here. The fourth official's been handed a card as Dale Fry throws the ball down to take this free kick just short of the centre circle. Aiming for Bowler on the left. Vandenberg wins his header. Bounces towards Tavernier, looking for Akpom. Akpom slipping, falling, under pressure from Lindsay and losing possession. Preston break. Emil Rees pulling wide to the left, and he'll get the ball from Brad Potts, who goes for the return now. Rees keeps it. Johnson up in support. Gets it back. Finds Rees again. Just to the left of the Borough box. Preston trailing 2-0 here. BBC Radio T Sport. Rees on the ball once more. On his right foot. Little toe end on it from Tavernier. Wins it back for Borough. Now Cabano. And Cruyff turned to try and get away from Rees, who's gamely trying to close the ball down, but Borough with the extra man have always got a red shirt available. Cleared long by Fry. Header from the Preston defence drops into midfield where Tavernier is on it once more. He's made an impact, hasn't he, the half-time sub? He really has.
Listen, he's top draw in my opinion, Tav. Really is.
Ball slid into by Brad Potts there. Couple of rolls. That will be a free kick, and yet Potts has hurt himself in the challenge, and Ball has hurt too.
Yeah.
As we see,
it's a silly challenge.
They're going in on them. They're trying to intrude.
Get that ball. He comes in, he misses the ball.
Get him off the pitch now.
He actually goes for Bowler. And it's a silly challenge for him.
And Brad Potts gets back to his feet and sees a referee on the line for flashing the yellow card in his direction. As Borough are going to introduce Ashley Fletcher and Marvin Johnson in just a moment, Neil. So the two men who are coming back from injury, in Tavernier and Fletcher, they're getting game time.
Yeah, I think Fletcher obviously will come on for Akpom. You know, I think it's the right move as well, is he? You know, Johnson's coming on first.
Yeah, Marvin Johnson first of all, and Yannick Balassi
is
the
well
man who he will replace. Yeah, he has. I've enjoyed watching.
Yeah, he's done.
Balassi's done really well today.
But I think, you know, you're looking at.
I love watching Balassi.
Well, looks like he's coming off.
When he's on the ball, he's skillful. He knows what he's doing with it.
Which is Millwall away.
Yeah.
Final one before the international break, and now Ashley Fletcher.
Yeah, I'd like to see Fletcher get in this game really quickly and really outsmart his centre halves. I think Afcon for me it was all trying to be fight and brawn, and sometimes you've got to outsmart your centre halves. And Fletch, if you can pick up little pockets, go in behind, get them thinking, it's a good game for him to come on. And I think the substitutions, at this time, really clever from Neil Warnock.
Ashley Fletcher's last appearance, of course, the 23rd of February against Bristol City. Johnson delivers towards Fletcher, who won't reach it as it's headed away from the 6-yard line.
Cabano,
Here's a bit
you have a shot here! Oh, it's the same.
Ricochets out of the box, and Bowler has actually forced Fisher to leave that one as a back pass to Bettinelli. That wasn't a bad first touch from Marvin Johnson, was it, Ross?
Let me tell you. That is a great ball in from Johnson. Couldn't get on the end of it. Fantastic ball, that.
Grant Hall battling with Ched Evans. The ball bypasses both of them towards the edge of the area. Bowler, and he's miscued that clearance rather. Headed sideways rather
than forward. Oh, we can't see because he's still got the replay on.
High up the pitch on their right-hand side, and Sepp Vandenberg, the Dutch defender, will take it. Malumbi. Back to Vandenberg, and can't find Potts with his pass. Howson back helping out his defence. Thumps it forward. Lindsay heads down. Headed on by Story. Lindsay again stooping, and Preston have it under control. Story going back to front. And there's Hall getting in front of his man Emil Rees. Heads it infield and nodded down by Darnell Fisher to his keeper Marcus Bettinelli. And we shouldn't forget, Neil, that in the first half, Bettinelli made a really important save, didn't he, when it was 1-0 to the Borough?
Yeah. It's been comfortable second half for him, though, hasn't it? I think we've approached the game better second half. Tav makes a difference. Gives you a lot more energy. There's a lot more quality on the ball.
Finds a bit of space, just
lucky
near the
centre
circle. Leaves it for Howson, and now Johnson on the left-hand side. Accelerates as he goes for the return pass from Bowler. He's going beyond Potts. First time cross looks good. It's behind Fletcher. Headed clear of the box once more by Preston.
This is just amazing by us.
Vandenberg. Oh, he can't find Johnson. Again, a 1-2. Johnson is looking to make an impact here. He's been short of opportunities lately. He couldn't make anything there as Fry wins the ball illegally against Ched Evans, says Oliver Langford. And that will be a Preston free kick. They continue to trail the Borough by 2-0. And we've got 25 minutes of this one left here on BBC
Radio T Sport.
Radio T Sport.
I'm just going to wish off America, but I'll just see you 21, Ellen. She's lovely, Ellen. She really is. Happy birthday, Ellen. Hope you have a good day.
Are you hoping she runs some sort of holiday letting firm or something, and you're going to get mates rates off?
Well, I have asked them a couple of times. I've had a couple of Zoom. I've had a Zoom meeting with them. Really good it was. Good fun.
Preston's free kick driven forward by Jordan Story out to the left-hand side. Good touch by the left-back Hughes. Finding Ched Evans still battling away with Dale Fry, holding it up. Preston might get this into the box here. Well, they won't, because Darnell Fisher's made a challenge outside the area, and Preston have got a free kick. It was Jason Malumbi who was running onto the ball, and Fisher is going to be booked on his first appearance against his old side.
It's a 1-2. And he gets caught the wrong side. He's stretching. Little ball around the corner.
Yeah, definitely a free kick.
I don't think there's much in it, to be fair.
No.
Well, neither does Darnell Fisher by the look of it.
Well, it is a foul. Don't get me wrong. It is a foul. Not much in it. He doesn't.
I think because Malumbi was into the box, I think that's why the referee's got the card out. As Borough have a 2-man wall lined up here. The free kick is just to the left of the box as Preston attack, and it's, well, 3 yards, 4 yards perhaps up from the byline.
You know, there's one man on the edge of the box here. You've got to defend it because you can't.
I have a feeling they're going to score from the free kick.
Right in front of Marcus Bettinelli in the Borough goal.
Yeah, you're 2-0 up. Do not give him any hope.
What can Daniel Johnson create from this free kick? The Jamaican is listening to the instructions from his teammates in the middle of the area. Malumbi's arriving unmarked on the edge of the box, and Johnson, well, he thought about giving it to him. He's just chipped it in. Hughes attacks, headed out by Fisher. Here is Malumbi on the D.
Go on, Cabano! Go on! Go on! Go on! Push it forward now. Go on!
Johnson.
Edge
of the box.
And a shot!
Oh, and he'll fire it high and wide. And Daniel Everson doing his nut in there. He's coming out of his goal, chasing the referee, is the Danish keeper. Furious about something. I don't know what. That's why, because there's a man down, Ched Evans, in the Borough box. Everson thinks the break shouldn't have been allowed. Well, in the end, Marvin Johnson didn't trouble the Preston goal. It remains Borough 2, Preston 0.
Listen, there's plenty of bodies going forward there, but the referee can't bring that back there. I think, Shea Evans is down. He hasn't stood, he's not still. I don't think any of us seen it. And then all of a sudden the shot comes off. It's literally 5 seconds from one end to the other.
As Alex Neil prepares to make another change, albeit remotely, from his position at the back of the lower tier of this stand, and Ched Evans is being withdrawn. And it's a midfielder who's coming on for him, Ben Whiteman. Well, I think perhaps he's looking towards the next 2 home games. Here is Alex Neil. They've got Luton of Preston on Saturday at Deepdale, and the international break, Norwich at home and Swansea away to follow.
Yeah, listen, I think in terms of that first half performance, I thought it was good.
He should be way further up.
For him.
He's still basically managing his team, even though he's
isolated. Yeah, really isolated, and looked comfortable. Nevertheless, I do think they've worked hard, Preston, but
if the fans were there, then fair enough. You wouldn't be able to hear them.
I think we get the lead 2-0. Preston have been down to 10 men since the 35th minute, and Emil Rees held the ball up there, laid it off, but too far in front of Brad Potts, who looks to be running out of energy. He's going to get a chance to take possession here. Halfway line, wide on the right. Infield, hiked forward by the substitute Whiteman. Channel ball. Rees will battle for it with Hall. Hall backing in. Rees has kept it alive, but he couldn't quite find Daniel Johnson, who was arriving inside the Borough box. Howson helps it clear. Back it comes, volleyed away by Bowler. Rotherham have got a goal back against Watford. Rotherham 1, Watford 3. It's driven forward again by Preston. Header once more. There's Malumbi up in the air.
Yeah, it's
4-1 in the middle of the pitch.
I take tennis at the moment.
It is, yeah. There's no quality to it right now. It's just a scrap. There's ball. Snaps into the chip. Alex Neil's getting closer to this pitch again, Neil. Sending offs aren't what they used to be, are they? If FIFA were near this, he'd be out. He wouldn't be allowed outside the stadium. He'd have to be in the town centre. Our order has been restored at Rotherham. The Millers got a goal, and Watford went enough. It's now 4-1 to the Hornets. And of course, Watford will be here on Easter Monday, won't they?
Yeah.
Which all of a sudden isn't that far away. Just 2 games between now and then for the Borough. Millwall away, Bournemouth away. That's on Good Friday. And then Watford at home on Easter Monday. Bournemouth still winning 1-0 against Swansea as they approach half-time at Dean Court. And it's still Cardiff 0, Stoke 0. 2-0 here to the Borough as Bowler looks for Fletcher. Jordan Storey beats him to the ball. Pumps it out of play. Throw-in for Bowler. Back to Grant Hall, who wasn't watching the action there because Kevin Blackwell was giving him instructions. Got a shout and had to switch on very quickly. But right now, Neil, as you said, don't give them any encouragement. Preston look beaten, don't they? Johnson's down off the ball now.
I would say first half, listen, we had to be better. Second half, we have been better. We've sort of controlled the game and limited them. Tab has made a big difference for us.
And battling for the ball here.
Obviously, the substitutions that Neil Warnock has made, I think, is absolutely right. Paddy's obviously is an injury and he comes off, but Tav coming on for Sam Morsey was the right thing to do, and also Fletch coming on when they're down to 10 men. It's just maybe see if he can come in little pockets and, as I said before, just make them defenders think a little bit. I think he's done well tonight as well. He's worked hard. He's been a threat.
It's Grant Hall.
Hi,
down in the centre circle, left to
How you doing?
There's Malumbi. He's bundling into him. Putting in out, Borough throwing in front of the Preston technical. Mark Bowler finds his captain Howson. Bowler. Did that run out of play? Linesman says no.
Go on, Johnson.
Fletcher, left hand side of the
and I'll be surely a Borough ref. How How is that a goal? How is that?
He'll win a corner.
He won't.
Oh, he won't. Obviously, had a
How
better
is
angle.
that
Keeps
not a
Preston. They
freaking
continue
corner, man?
to trail Middlesbrough.
That is clearly a corner, man. Not a goal kick. Hang on.
On by Fletcher, left-hand side of the box.
Yeah, that's a freaking corner, man. That is freaking ridiculous.
Goal kick to Preston.
That is ridiculous,
trail
man.
Middlesbrough.
EFL referee.
Two
This is what
goals
we
to
need.
nil. We've got
Yeah,
18
man.
minutes left
It's not
here
what
at the
we do.
Riverside as Bournemouth take a 2-goal lead against Swansea in stoppage time at the end of the first half. That one kicked off at 7:45. Every other game in the Championship tonight was at 7 o'clock. Here's Johnson, a little flick along the Johnson early. He's got space, and he has.
Look at Ashley Fletcher.
Low towards the front post, and he's forced a stretching clearance out of Jordan's Story. Borough will have a corner.
Finally, a corner that we deserve.
He has to stretch and make that ball, because you've got Ashley Fletcher piling in there near post. It's a lovely ball from Johnson. It's a good clearance as well from Story. Corner ball to us.
Either down to 10 men after Alan Brown sending off a scuffle and then a kick
play
out.
short. Don't play
Sam
short.
Morsey
Whip the ball in.
as Borough were attacking.
Why don't you?
Spotted by the referee. Alex
Why
Neal sent
don't
off after the
signal
half-time
him
whistle had
as
been
soon as
blown
you
for
kick
his
that ball, you run
protest.
into the box.
Cabano to deliver short to
Why are you
Johnson.
taking it short, man?
He'll shift it on his left, Johnson.
I mean, it's whipped
That's
in,
a
and it's
a
looking
chip
for Dale
one,
Fry.
a loopy one, and he's got too much on it.
Now Johnny Alston,
Fry
just
forced
next
out
to
of the end.
the
Fry's a right winger as
box.
Borough give him the ball, as they have here.
Now here's
What's his
Dale
delivery
Fry.
like?
He
We're
whips
about
the
to find
ball
out. He's put it behind the red
in.
shirts. Marvin Johnson.
And the
is
shot's been
lurking.
taken on, and
Didn't
Cabano!
His shot was awful. It turned into a through ball for Cabano, and Cabano couldn't find the target. Goal kick to Preston. Borough lead 2-0.
Yeah, it takes a deflection and it finds its way to Cabano. It's running away from him. And the ball in from Dale is a centre-half's ball, guaranteed. But
To be fair, when he slipped.
Oh, I tell you what, he has half a chance there because he misses it totally, and he's the right side of that defender.
Yeah, there was an opening.
If he could have stayed on his feet there, I think we'd been able to
goes
score.
towards goal. He's got a chance of scoring that.
He is a good player.
Centre-half's cross for certain.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see it. Johnny
I'll tell you
Alston.
what, to be fair to Dale, and
Now
that
it's
ball
on
once
the other
again,
side of the field.
I think
It's Marvin Johnson on the ball.
done really well.
Led it behind him. Bowler was
Wow.
going off on a supporting run, and Preston on the break try and find Emil Reese. He
Yeah,
couldn't
you
take
pick it up,
in,
mate.
in his stride on the edge of the Borough area. Off him through to Marcus Bettinelli. And there'll be quite the conversation going on right now between Marvin Johnson and Mark Bowler.
I think Marvin Johnson's right, because he's facing the way the bowler is. There's no way is he going to pass the ball beyond Bowler, the other side. And yet Bowler runs past him and he's got a few men around him. He's got nowhere to go. He's just got to keep it simple, and he tries to do that.
Oh, actually, Fletcher's turned his man, but he's done so illegally. The referee says Fletcher eased Liam Lindsay under the ball. Free kick to Preston.
I think he just uses his body there.
Yeah, just stronger from what I could see.
I think he just uses his body.
He would have been through that.
Muscles the centre half. And
Half-time at Dean Court. Bournemouth 2, Swansea 0. A reminder, Barnsley and Reading, who are in 5th and 6th in the Championship, play tomorrow.
Whack it.
There's Darnell Fisher with time in the right back position. Bounces off George Saville, and his knee just near the centre circle. Wasn't the greatest of passes to him. And Preston look for Daniel Johnson on their left wing. Potts, he's popped up on the left-hand side of the box here. Grant Hall is forcing him away from the area. Potts keeps possession out to the left, and Hughes back in field to Johnson. Well, they're trying gamefully to create something here, Preston, but they just can't find the room, Neil, can they? And now Borough will break. They found Mark Bowler. Johnson outside him on the left-hand side.
Johnson.
Bowler keeps his run going.
Now
Johnson
Mark
just
is
slows
having
it
it. He
down.
looks behind his shoulder.
Are they
and
thinking
he
2-0's
sees
good enough here, Neil? Or are they just trying to be
Oh, brilliant flick from Bowler.
Front. He's played it to Tavernier.
What are you doing? Whip it in!
Johnson arriving, sawed him short.
Whip it in!
He's just ridden the challenge of Vandenberg and kept the ball, but I think they overdid it. Lovely ball into the box to Tavernier. Tavernier.
Oh, Saville!
Reach it, but neither can a Borough player.
Whip it in!
Keeps it in play on the right hand
Shoot!
side. Edge of the box is Fisher.
Oh!
Everson catches. Still, Borough lead.
We were being too cocky there.
great play from
It was a great flick on
Johnson,
from Bowler,
Marcus Tavernier.
but then Tavernier was being
Fantastic ball
too
across the
cocky
face
as
of the
well.
6-yard box.
I think he was
You're
a
right,
bit
no
too
one there
cocky.
to stick it in the
Trying
back
to
of
do
the
a
net,
little
but,
back
Did they
heel.
overdo it a bit?
Not really, because you get to where you want to go to. You do. You're in the box, and the ball itself, you look at it, what a ball it is. It's just begging to be put in the back of the net. And
the final ball is delicious, no doubt. I just thought they went to Scarborough to get to Whitby.
No, I just think it's great play. We were crying out first half to have a little bit of intelligence and a little bit more of the play. And when you get in the areas, pick someone out or, create an opportunity. But there they've put it in the box, and you expect someone to gamble and put that in from literally 2 yards.
Marcus Bettinelli's put it out of play from a back pass there, which gives Preston a chance to make another change. Joe Rafferty is coming on. Straight swap at the back for Liam Lindsay. So Preston are just bringing on fresh legs at the back. Liam Lindsay takes the shortest exit, which is out on the far side. He's got the long walk round.
Jordan Pickford isn't
Joe Rafferty will run all the way across the pitch to take this Preston through it.
So
Borough leading 2-0. And we've got Lang is going to get a chance to strut his stuff in the closing minutes. Preston going backwards here.
Yeah, I think he'll be the next one coming on. Cabano, they'll probably bring Cabano off and let him go on that right-hand side.
And Preston keeping the ball in their own half. So elsewhere then, in the Championship, 7 o'clock kickoffs. Cardiff 0, Stoke 0, Derby 1, Brentford 2. The Rams have come from 2-0 down to get back into that game. Luton 2, Coventry 0, and the Sky Blues are down to 10 men. It's Rotherham 1, Watford 4, and at half-time, Bournemouth 2, Swansea 0. Here on BBC Radio T Sport in our game, Middlesbrough 2, Preston 0. Preston down to 10 men. It's Marvin Johnson. Thought he'd won the ball. Vandenberg snapped back at him. Johnson challenged in turn. Now Saville onto the left of Fletcher on the left wing.
Here's George Saville.
Moving well here
Saville.
through
There's it, Marcus Tavernier, I believe that is.
the gears. Johnson arrives in. Everson backpedaling, waving his arm as the ball dropped under the crossbar, but it just went across the goal and not into it. In the end, it's out on the far side for a Preston throw.
Yeah, he whips it in there, doesn't it? It looks like you've seen them fly into the, the top corner at the far side, and you see Everson there just moving backwards.
He just said he meant it, obviously.
It just comes away, throwing to Preston on that far side.
Yeah, taken short, hoofed forward, Grant Hall's header. Just the Preston side of the halfway line, and then a neat bit of control from him as it's sent back once again. Yeah, Hall's in a good vein of form here, isn't he?
He's been excellent. I mean, sometimes when the balls are in there, he's had the composure to bring them down and set us off play, and he hasn't launched things. He's been really good, really intelligent.
Now on the halfway line is Mark Butler,
who's on the halfway line, and
now Marvin Johnson.
Nathaniel Mendes
Johnson
is
goes
going
down.
to be given a run out here.
Nothing given.
Marvin Johnson put it straight out
It's
there
like
with
a
the challenge of Jason
yellow,
Malumbi.
nothing in it.
Through it. Brad Potts takes it down out of the air. He finds Emil Rees. He turns in a bit of space up front. Johnson coming from the middle of the pitch out to the right, but you can see Preston have got no rhythm now, have they? They've got no pattern, and the players are having to stop and look before playing a pass, which is what they've done here, and they've gone back to the centre circle. Nathaniel Mendes-Lang showed his class on the break, didn't he, against Stoke? He'll be hopeful of doing the same once he gets onto the pitch here, but he needs a stoppage. Johnny Howson, looking to thread it through there for Cabano, but
I would love to
cut
see him
out
score again.
by Rafferty for Preston. Well, they wanted that forward quicker, the Preston coaching staff, as the right-back Vandenberg had made a run, but he wasn't found. Here's Whiteman.
And now Preston, I think, could be pushing forward here.
Through to Rees, but good tackle on him.
And now maybe
Cabano again.
An attack
into the centre
against
circle.
Borough, maybe
Two
again
men
a
to try
third
and
goal.
burst between. He
Now
can't
here's
do
George
so.
Saville. He
on
plays
the
it
loose
to
ball,
Marvin
finds
Johnson.
Fletcher into
Marvin
that channel.
Johnson,
Two
and
men inside him.
he's
Fletcher
got
is heading for the box.
he's got a
On his
few
right
players with
foot, he
him.
might
He's
fancy
going to go
a
for a
shot
shot,
on
and it's
goal.
going
He
to
does,
go
but
out
he's hit the defender's
for
story,
a
and the
throw
ricochet
in.
out
A
for
Borough
a throw
throw in.
on the far side. Still Borough lead Preston by 2-0.
He had Marcus Tavernier and Ashley Fletcher with him.
Opens up for him. Takes it across the 18-yard. Everything right he does there.
As Niskins Cabano sees his number come up in lights, he's going off, and Nathaniel Mendes-Lang is coming on.
Yeah,
he's got 8 minutes plus stoppage time to make an impact.
He's been bright, Cabano on that right-hand side. Really bright.
And they actually swapped and chopped and changed a fair bit, didn't they? Him and Yannick Bolasie when they're on the pitch.
He's like, I think we should try and sign him, you know. Like, literally,
but,
he is
you know,
really,
taking
really
to
good.
sending off, you know, you've got to say Preston.
Really good.
We're still in the
And
still
Bender's
in the
lang
game.
as well.
Well, in fact, looking at the better side, but
like
the sending off has changed everything, in my opinion, there.
A 2-year deal.
And thankfully, I'll say this, we've had so many decisions go against us this season, and people say they even themselves out. I feel sorry for the boy. You shouldn't have kicked out, though.
And now here it is, Mendes Lang.
Into the box.
This could be a third goal from Mendes Lang if this could go perfectly right.
Inside, going for the return ball with the box, and what's he giving the free kick for, though?
I think he's giving a free kick going down too easy, Fetch. I think he tries to con the referee a little bit there. I agree with the referee. I think he just tries to, if you watch it here, Mark, he goes down.
I just wasn't sure if he'd signalled at his hand as well.
Well, I'm not too sure there. I think he's got every right to say that's a free kick because the centre half, it's a 15.
Well, player's gone on.
Pushes him over.
While we're watching that replay, and it's Jason Malumbi halfway inside.
Anyways, now here is Johnson on the right-hand side for
down the right, it goes to the feet of Daniel Johnson,
and
looking for support.
Go out for Middlesbrough throw-in.
Wins the throw-in off Jason
Just
Malumbi.
in the middle of his half.
And it's a long way back for Preston. 2-0 down, 10 men, as they have been since the 35th minute. But they're stuck at it, Neil. And it was, listen, and right now at 2-0, well, they'll probably feel it's respectable.
Yeah, this result was important for us, massively important. And we looked at the Stoke game, get that out of the way, get 3 points on the board. We looked at this tonight, it was massively important that you get that result. Now you go to Millwall now, hoping that you can get another 3 points. It's about wins. The draws are no good for us at this moment. It's all about wins.
Mendes Lang flicked on and out of play. Preston throwing left-hand side, short of halfway, pumped long over
Last time when we
well, he's given
Millwall,
everything, hasn't he, since coming on the
3-0.
break. But he will never win that one against Dale Fry.
And I'm
Fry
pretty
lets
sure
it run through to
live
Bettinelli,
for that.
and he'll just saunter towards the edge of the box before going for distance here by the look of it. 5.5 minutes of stoppage time to go. We're with you till 10 o'clock tonight. I'll be off to speak to Neil Warnock.
You'll be off to speak to Neil Warnock.
At the final whistle, Rob Hartlepool United have done this evening as well in the National League, as they chase promotion back to the football by the look of it. 5.5 minutes of stoppage time to go. We're with you till 10 o'clock tonight. I'll be off to speak to Neil Warnock at the final whistle. Rob Hartlepool United have done this evening as well in the National League, as they chase promotion back to the Football League. Brad Potts inside his own half, back to Jordan Storey, who got the scoring underway with a wild slice past his keeper Daniel Everson in the first half. Here's Fry crunching into the challenge with Malumbi. Ball was there to be won. Fry disliked the Preston half.
85th minute.
He stood amongst the substitutes.
They've got red cards still.
Alex Neil just getting out the shot of him, sort of the top of the staircase at the lower tier here of the West Stand. Like I said before, something not fit what they used to be.
Football, anything can
Preston
happen.
won it back from the Borough throw.
In my eyes,
Emil Rees,
I think this is done.
pushing down by Grant Hall. Fry
He's been
if we can get another one, it's game over.
Him and Dale Fry certainly been really good, but Grant Hall in particular, he's got a little bit of calmness. He's still got that
as he wins the ball here against Brad Potts, but falls the way of Whiteman for Preston in the centre circle, looking for Potts, who's made a run out to the left-hand side of the box. Fry's gone with him, not being drawn into the challenge as Potts actually moves in field and Fry's let him have a bit of space there. Shifts the ball away to his right. What can Preston do here?
I don't know why I'm telling them to
5
shoot.
minutes of the game.
Don't
Can he get a goal back? Daniel Johnson can hit them if he's got space. Johnny Howson doesn't gift him it. Out to the left, in comes the cross. Header down and caught on the goal line. Jordan Storey's header didn't have the power to trouble Bettinelli.
He doesn't have the power because Johnson does his job. He's around him, puts him
scares
off,
the life out of me.
stops him from getting that free header. You know, generating the power has generated.
It felt like it was going to go through his legs for some reason.
From there,
but
the standing
it's a goal. It goes
straight to Bettinelli.
Bettinelli looking for Fletcher here with this clearance. Fletcher
Get
over Storey, who's now holding his back, having fallen. The ball bounced past the pair of them. Story's back up, and he's looking daggers at the back of Ashley Fletcher, who was trying to close down Daniel Everson in the Preston goal. Borough have it back from the clearance with Howson. And I think, Neil, you've given me a fair hint about who your man of the match is.
Yeah, I think he's done really well, Grant Hoff. Yeah, he's been composed. You know, I think he's made the right decisions at times when balls are coming in towards him. He's had a bit of awareness about him. He's brought it down. He's kept it simple. He's always, and also as well, he's launched things at times. He's known when to launch things when he's under pressure, and he's put it in behind him. Good quality ball. So yeah, Grant Hall gets my man of the match. But to be fair, second half, I think there's been some good performances. You know, Dale alongside him. I think Tad's done really well. I mean, little fits and starts in this second half showed his quality. Johnny Howson's worked ever so hard as well in midfield, shoring up that defence, helping the defence out. But
here is Neil's man of the match, Grant Holt, finding Bowler on the move
Yeah,
into the box from the left-hand
whipped
side.
in.
He's pulling it back to the edge of the area.
And it comes to
There's Johnson,
Fisher, he goes
challenged
down,
by Fisher.
nothing
Fisher's
given,
gone down,
George
the ball is
Saville
loose.
goes in.
Will win it back for the home side. It's heading back towards the halfway line, and Johnny Howson just slows it down, takes the sting out of the situation, and Borough start deep with Dale Fry.
you know, you look at the first half, Mark, when we went down to 10 men. We were rushed. They were still in the game. You know, and you're thinking, we've got to be better than that. The second half, we've managed it better. You know, we've kept all the ball a lot better and, you know, passed it around. And I think Tav, the subs have made a difference. And the calmness from Hall, the back as well, has helped.
News from Brentford 2. And the Bees are starting to struggle, aren't they? In that chase for one of the top two places in the Championship. Borough looking for the playoffs from a position as long shots. They're doing what they can tonight, winning 2-0 and forcing a rushed clearance out of Daniel Everson. It's gone keeper to keeper here as we're into the final minute of the 90.
Yeah, this league, Mark, you can't predict any scores. I mean, you look at the coupons and you think, oh, that's a cert, that's a cert. It's not in this league. Anyone can beat anyone on any day. And you look at Brentford, and you think, absolute away win, it's a must. And they might still win, but Derby, they're fighting for their lives. And when you're fighting for your lives, you know, it's a difficult team to play against.
Barnsley are at Wickham.
Barnsley are good football inside, they pass it around, but you know, Wickham are like, they get it forward, they've got a big lad up front who's strong.
Uche Pezu. They've gone long here of Preston in turn down the left, and they've won a throw-in. Daniel Johnson will take it. We're about to see how much stoppage time will be played here, with Borough just seeing this one out against the 10 men of Preston, who whip it in from that left-hand side. 4 minutes to be played.
4 minutes.
Clearance.
Hold your breath!
Oh, he's been penalised here. That looked a bit soft as Andy Hughes went down. Fletcher's frustrated. Free kick to Preston inside their own half. Again, a good few yards short of the centre circle, and they've taken it quickly.
It's good to see Ashley Fletcher back as well, and Tam. It is. I mean, for both of them, it's great to see, because it's minutes on the pitch, minutes that they desperately need a little bit of fitness, a little bit of sharpness. And now you look towards, Millwall now with a little bit of, say, fresh up. Obviously, Paddy, we'll have to see what Paddy's like. But
well, I was going to say, the one big worry from tonight, the one black mark, is the injury to Paddy McNair, and we wait to see how serious that is. But, you know, knees are always a worry, aren't they?
Yeah, it is, because he brings pace to your side and a bit of calmness, and he started to, he got a goal the other day, and he was unfortunate to
play his part in the second goal.
Yeah, so he's going to be a miss if he is out, but the plus side of it is, obviously, you've just mentioned that Ashley Fletcher, Marcus Tavernier in particular.
And Borough have got
nothing given.
Falling in front of the Preston bench and not winning a free kick out of Oliver Langford.
George Saville. Back to Johnny Howson. Now Marcus Tavernier. Marcus Tavernier looking
trying to get away from Daniel Johnson, which he does, but not
back
just
to the Preston North End goalkeeper.
And making the tackle.
They are starting to rush.
Back to his keeper, Daniel Everson.
They are
desperately hard to get back into this. It's been really hard second half. But I'll tell you what, I give them credit where it's due. They've kept on going. Still
stuck at it, haven't they?
They're half
Van den Berg. bursting through the challenges in the middle of the pitch. The ball's out with Potts on the right-hand side. Oh, just stumbled as he tried to get away from Bowler. Wasn't touched, fell over, all under his own steam. And George Saville and Bowler just passing it about in front of the Borough
Mendes hangs offside.
bench. Fletcher comes short, back to Bowler. There isn't. And Marvin Johnson apologises as he drives the ball out from left to right for a Preston throw-in.
Yeah, he's got so much composure, Bowler, you know, from where he was.
He is utterly unrecognisable from the bag of nerves that played here against Sheffield Wednesday under Jonathan Woodgate.
The confidence that he shows at times when he's on the ball. I tell you what, he's a pocket battleship, by the way, because he is strong as an ox.
Here's Fisher for his fullback on the opposite side. Down the line he goes to Mendes-Lang. Mendes-Lang is coming infield, wanting a free kick as the ball.
No, here's Marcus Tavernier.
Have played on. Tavernier combined
Marvin Johnson.
Oh, Johnson's touch lets him down, and it's taking him towards the corner flag. He was in the box when the ball reached him. Saville comes short back to Johnson, leaves himself open to the challenge which Vandenberg makes, and that is a Borough throw-in.
Chance sort of gone there because you're on the attack. The ball goes to Johnson. If you can get a good touch, you've got a couple of players in the box, and you're hoping that he can deliver. It fades out there, doesn't it, with a couple of bad touches.
We're in the 4th minute here of stoppage time. 4 were signalled. Oliver Langford, our referee. Bowler, Neil Maddison's pocket battleship to take the throw-in. Oh, he must have been on the weights because it was too strong, that throw-in for Johnny Howson to handle. Oh, lovely bit of pickpocketing by Howson on Black Potts. Tavernier.
Pass it off, Tab!
On his left foot, now his right. He's trying to beat everyone.
Pass it off, man!
For a goal kick.
Ashley Fletcher was ready to run at the goalkeeper and score.
He goes past a couple of players, but you're right. As they back off, you gamble. You get your shot off. He doesn't. He takes it a little bit too long there, Tab. Just there, you're looking. Go on, shot. Get it off, get it off. He goes to go in between them, but yeah, it's a goal kick to Preston.
Taken now. Emil Reese the target. Wins his header. Tavernier takes it down on his thighs. It dropped in the centre circle, and that is it.
Come on! 3 points! Come on! Let's go freaking party! Let's go freaking party! Let's go freaking mental! Let's go freaking mental!
Preston
well,
North nil.
That
2 wins in a row for Neil Warnock's men.
That
3 from 4.
Middlesbrough
And now
take all 3 points.
On Saturday for the final game before
our next game is on the Saturday.
Remit this
just
week.
before
2
the
wins.
international break. If you want to see me going out for the England games, which I probably won't.
You know, and that's what was needed.
We'll be doing live streaming
around,
pretty much everyone will be going on there.
It's as simple as that.
I don't know. But I might do. I'll think about it. But I will see you all later. Thank you so much for joining me. Great result for the Borough. Yeah.
We found it difficult at times to get going.
So yeah, I'll see you all later. Peace.
Evans up front, just